Hey!
Hi.
Hey everyone!
Welcome guys. It's Monday night here on Saving Throw, which does not mean that we're normally here, because we're not normally here, but we're here tonight because we're doing something very, very special. That's right. Tonight we are doing part one of our three-part series of ETU Undeclared in partnership with Pinnacle Entertainment, in celebration of their ongoing Kickstarter for Savage Worlds Adventure Edition, which is happening now. So if you haven't checked out that Kickstarter yet, or, you just don't even know what Savage Worlds is and you just wandered in here by mistake, definitely check out that Kickstarter now. You should do yourself a favor.
The likelihood seems somewhat low that they don't know about it, but
It does.
if you don't...
Just an exclamation point Kickstarter, and you're great. You're fine.
That's right. So ordinarily, this group is the Wildcards group. We typically run a Deadlands Reloaded show here on Saving Throw on Friday nights, and we have been doing that for almost 2 years now, actually. Yeah, we've been doing it for a while, but we have been doing it with Savage Worlds Deluxe Edition, which is not the edition of Savage Worlds that we will be using tonight. No, we will be using something new, something exciting, Savage Worlds Adventure Edition. And we will be running things a little bit differently tonight. Ordinarily, we have a very interactive stream where there are unlockable rewards that affect the way the game is run. There are reroll tokens, plot armor tokens, adventure cards that can be drawn, all manner of things. But since we are trying to show off the new rules and the new changes, we are gonna do something we've never done when we're running Savage Worlds before, which is run it rules as written. I know. Try not to panic. Don't worry, guys. You're going to be fine. A couple disclaimers before we get started. So this edition of Savage Worlds Adventure Edition is a beta version of the rules that was sent to us in advance, a little bit in advance, just so we could prep this game. There may be some changes between this edition of the rules and what is released for the Kickstarter. I can't say that for sure, but I think that there are a couple people in chat who can probably speak to that a bit more accurately than I can, so they might chime in on that. But just know, if something we do here looks a little bit different than it does when you get your version of the rules, that might be why. The other reason that might be is because we are learning the new edition as well. The goal of running this campaign is for us to learn the new rules along with you and see how they work at the table. Now, like I said, we've been running Deadlands Reloaded using Savage Worlds Deluxe for almost 2 years now. So that is very much baked into our skulls, as I'm sure if you've played Savage Worlds before, the current rules are baked into yours. So there may be some times when we default to old rules, or forget to add in a new rule, or maybe don't even properly understand the way the new rules work, which I don't think will be the case. But it could happen. And if it does happen, I encourage you to discuss that in the chat channel with everyone else who is watching. Even some of those aforementioned people who may have more definitive answers than we do here at the table. And we will make an effort to read through the chat channel after the fact and see what it is you guys were talking about. And,
I also recommend just tweeting a long string of profanity without an explanation at Jordan Callerman.
At Jordan Callerman on Twitter.
Yeah.
So the other part of that, by the end of this three-part miniseries, we hope to be better versed in the Savage Worlds Adventure Edition rules, and we hope that you will be along with us. So we'll be trying out some different systems and things as we continue. But that's my intro and disclaimer for the beginning of this game. Let's get into things proper, why don't we? Hi! My name is Jordan Caves-callarman, and I am typically the marshal round these parts, but tonight I will be trying on a new role as the dean. I will be the dean of the table for this three-part series, hence my outfit change. And if anyone makes any community dean jokes, that's a sure way to get a Benny. That's a sure way to get a Benny. Not once we start. Sorry. Yeah, I can't award it to you. I know. But I have been, like I said, I've been running Savage Worlds and Deadlands Reloaded on Saving Throw for about 2 years now. I love the system. As soon as I discovered it and read through the book, I knew that it was the system for me because it so quickly clicked with my playstyle and the way that I like to run games at the table, and I feel like running it has made me a better GM, which is why I am so excited to be doing this as part of the Savage Worlds Kickstarter. That's about me. Why don't we learn a little bit about these guys at the table? So, since this is the beginning of a mini-series, I would like to go around. I'd like for you guys to give everyone your name, your character's name, and then give us a little bio of your character. Let us know a little bit about what is going on with your character. This is a great time to bring up anything on your character sheets that I printed up for you guys that you're like, what is this? How does this work? Because we're all learning together, as I said. So who wants to go first? Which one of you wants extra credit?
What? Wait.
Huh? Wait. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I need it.
Okay. Get that extra credit then. Tell the good people who you are.
Hi, my name's Dom Zook, and I'm playing Mike Squire, who is a legacy attendee of East Texas University. And he comes from sort of a cattle ranching family and a fifth generation coming here to the ETU. Go Ravens. He's a football player, and he got here on a full ride scholarship through football, but he is not too bright. He is none too bright, and he is trying to learn to be better about that, but it is not working as well as he had hoped.
What's your major, Mike?
I don't know.
That's fine.
I'll
You're a
figure it out.
freshman.
I'm
You're
a freshman.
Yeah. You have until your junior year to
I'll
declare a
figure
major.
it out. Like, get off my back, Dean.
Sorry. Far be it from me to get on the back of one of our star football players.
Are you the quarterback?
No.
Have you given any thought before now to what position on the football team
I don't
you do
know
play?
enough about football to make a comment.
You're like, I'm really hoping football facts don't
He is-
come into this.
Yeah.
He is an all-around good football player.
Yeah.
He's a freshman.
I can play whatever position you want me
He
to
plays
play.
all the positions.
He's a
know.
point guard.
Yeah, I'm a point guy.
Can't stop the kittens. Thank you for the bits. J Matthews 85 and PEG Clint from before the stream started. Thank you very much for resubbing to Saving Throw. Before I'm going to interrupt you really quick, Mike, because yes, if you want to, if you're new, hello, welcome. If you're here from the Kickstarter campaign and you saw the announcement that we're doing this and you thought you'd check it out, welcome, guys. We are Saving Throw, and if you decide you would like to sub to our channel, maybe you have an Amazon Prime subscription and didn't know you have a Twitch Prime resub you can give out for free every month. If you would like to, we would very much appreciate being the beneficiary of that free sub. But if not, know that you have it to give to any other Twitch streamer that you'd like to.
Otherwise,
If you
it's just like money on the table.
Right. If you sub to the show tonight, we do not have anything that is unlocked, which we normally do. We normally give out rerolls when people sub during the show. But if you let us know in chat, you can give one of your rerolls for subbing to one of these fine players for their characters on Friday nights when we play Deadlands Reloaded, or to any other player on this stream. Just let us know in chat. That could be on Iron Keep, on Tempting Fate, on any one of the other shows that we do, and we'll make sure they go to a good home. Sorry, Mike, let's jump back in.
No, it's cool.
Whatever. Did you have anything else you wanted to add, Mike?
Go Ravens!
Go Ravens. ETU college football rules.
I don't know. Do we have a
Yeah, we have to make one of those up.
Yeah.
That's for
It
you.
would be like,
Yeah.
We're workshopping that. All right. Next up.
Hey everybody, I'm Gaurav Gulati, and I'm playing Prakash PK Dureja. He goes by PK because he has a difficult to say name, especially in Texas.
Spinning Mind. Thank you very much for the
Thank you,
sub.
Spinning
Thank
Mind.
you for the sub. Prakash is a foreign exchange student, and he's from India. His family sent him here to learn as much as he can and get a good career to start some sort of a business or something to make money to maybe send back to his family, or maybe enough money to bring them to America and live the American dream that everybody so much wants to do here in the 80s.
That's right.
And even still today, you know, it's very big. And he is a curious person. He's an outsider, so he is not very good at talking or persuading to people. He's very driven because he wants that American dream. He's not going to let anything stand in his way. He is very book smart. And what else can I say about him? Oh, he's rooming with this gentleman over here, which you'll meet in just a moment. And he has a scooter. He's very fond of his scooter.
A very loud scooter.
A very loud scooter.
Thank you very much to Matt P3000 for the resub, and to
Thank you.
Historian of Nukes.
Hey,
Thank you for the bits.
thank you.
All right, and then we'll jump across the table to...
Hi, my name is Meghan Caves, and I'm playing Debbie Winger. She is a cheerleader. She's a freshman. She is from Texas, and she has a lot of dreams, and they all really circle around fame and being seen, and really her dreams are probably her mother's dreams more than her own, but she's pretty sure they're her dreams too because she can't tell the difference yet. So her mother and her decided that she should be a meteorology major because that would be most likely to get her on TV quickest.
And it's not at all a difficult course of study.
Yeah, and she's got a -1 in academics, so we'll see how that goes. But she's a very good acrobat, and she did make the cheerleading team immediately. And I made this, you can't see it here, but I got my ETU cheerleading team on. Cheerleading dress, whatever
She's
you call
wearing
it.
the whole team, ladies and gentlemen.
Go Ravens!
Go Ravens!
Go Ravens.
I like that. Yeah, that's what we do. We do this.
We do.
That's it. Canon.
Yeah, so she's she's been a bit sheltered, I think, growing up, and she means well, but she's very focused on getting her dream. And I actually want to bring up her hindrances because they're specific to ETU. So she has one that is a lot of fun. She has anti-technology aura, which means that basically things go wrong, electronics go wrong around her in certain situations. She also has overprotective parent. So I've got a.
I am Black Lion. Thank you for the sub.
Hey, thanks, I'm Black Lion.
I've got a helicopter mom basically. So that should be interesting. And she likes to talk. She's got a big mouth. So yeah, I think that's.
Doesn't keep secrets
gist.
very well, that Debbie.
No, she doesn't keep secrets, and she will endeavor to not be Irish. So we'll find out.
Lady Imago, thank you for the resub.
Thank you.
Thanks for the resub.
All right, and then was there anything else, Debbie, that you wanted to add for the rest of the
think
class?
so.
No? Okay, then last but not least.
Hi, my name is Jordan Pridgeon, and I am going to be playing Kip Springfield. Real name Crispin, but he goes by Kip because he's just been called that his entire life.
Dave Matthews,
Thank you,
anytime.
Dave
Thank
Matthews.
you very much for the tip.
Much appreciated.
So Kip Springfield is basically a student activist. Just from when he was in high school, he had friends who were going through hard times, and he organized fundraisers and put things together and just got really into activism and helping people. So Kip is really driven just to go out and be active and organize people and get things going. And his hindrances, and he's a pre-law major, and his hindrances are that, and he's gonna speak like this. No, he's not.
Oh my God.
He's not gonna have an accent at all.
We're like, oh, wait, what?
No,
That
3
was
hours
a
of that.
surprise to all of us.
His hindrances are major heroic, so he always has to help people. He has bad eyes, so he has to wear glasses or suffer a penalty on any action. He just can't do things without his glasses. And he's a pacifist, so he only fights in self-defense because
He's a minor pacifist, not a major pacifist.
Yeah, exactly. I can fight, but only in self-defense. And I've organized protests and that kind of thing, and Kip has probably been overnight in jail before for a planned protest sort of thing. We all stood around this monument even though they said we couldn't, and it was all sort of planned that okay, they'll show up, they'll arrest us, we will let ourselves be arrested because it's a message. And I also have knows a little bit of first aid and stuff like that, just from having to deal with maybe people jumping fences and getting their legs cut or something like that in protests and stuff like
Accidentally stabbing each other with the sharp end of picket signs.
that. Exactly.
Any one of those things.
Oh, yeah. And he's got a beat-up used compact car that has no traction on the tires at all. So he has to deal with that.
That's one of my favorite things about the ETU setting, actually, is that all of the used cars have glitches, which is fun. I don't know how much that's going to come into play tonight, but we'll see. We'll see.
Kind of.
Anything could happen.
I guess I didn't go into my hindrances.
Would you? Yeah. Well, let's hear about Mike's hindrances.
Sure.
We just heard about what you're good at, Mike.
Yeah, I'm good at everything because I'm overconfident. I also never admit mistakes because I'm stubborn. And also, I have ADHD, so I have a -2 to any academics or notice, but a +2 to resist tests, which I do not know what that means.
Because you weren't paying attention.
Nope.
That's fine. So those are our players, and those are the characters that they will be playing. We will be trying out some new stuff. We have never played ETU before, although it is by far my second favorite Savage setting. So I'm very excited to finally get a chance to sit down and play it. One thing to keep in mind for you guys: this is a very different world than the world of Deadlands. This is not some place that you're going to walk into and be able to just shoot things up, knock things down, blow things up. No, you are 18-year-old freshman in college. You can do all of the things that a normal American 18-year-old can do.
I mean, Rosaline's only like 20.
What?
In
she's-
the relative modern time. So we'll just keep that in mind. Don't go in there guns blazing, because you don't have any guns. And with that
What's
having been
blazing,
said,
man?
there's nothing blazing.
Just us.
It is 8:20 p.m. by my watch, and I believe that means that class is in session. So welcome. Let's get started with the drawing of some bennies.
Woo!
No fate chips here in ETU, just normal bennies, but this is the first difference that we are going to see between Savage Worlds Deluxe and Savage Worlds Adventure Edition, because bennies can do many more things in this game, in this version of the rules, than they can in Savage Worlds Deluxe. So first of all, how many bennies does everyone have? You should start with 3 unless you have an edge that is going to modify that in any way, which I believe only one of you has. Kip?
Oh no, I have luck as Gabe.
No, you have luck
wait,
as
I
Kip.
also have luck as Kip.
That's true.
Boom!
So that means you get one extra one extra Benny at the beginning. Oh, this is gonna be tricky for me too. So that's 4 for you. You get 3 there, Debbie.
These are
You're
so
gonna get
cool.
3
Ooh,
PK,
these are
and these
cool.
are the
don't I get to
ETU
choose?
bennies that
Yeah.
that Pinnacle was kind enough
Oh,
to
you can actually see 'em.
give us to hang out
Oh,
for
man,
this game.
these are
And 3 for you, Mike. And then, as per usual, I get 1 for each of you, so I will get 4 total here. Now, as I said, bennies do a couple different things in Savage Worlds Adventure Edition. What are the normal things that bennies can do? Extra credit, anyone?
They can re-roll rolls.
They can reroll trait rolls.
Reroll trait rolls, so they can't re-roll damage rolls.
They can now.
They can-
What?
So bennies can reroll any trait roll, which is an attribute or skill roll, and bennies can also reroll a damage roll now in the new edition of the game. However, you might think, wow, that's really powerful. They just folded that in there. But what about critical failures, you might ask? Critical failures, those were the things that you can reroll with a Benny. Not anymore.
Oh.
No, you can no longer reroll a critical failure. That is not a setting rule anymore. That is baked into the core rules of the game.
Wow.
I
So,
like that a lot.
along with that comes the fact that if you are re-rolling a roll and your re-roll is a critical failure, you do not get to keep the highest of the two. You keep the
Ooh.
critical failure.
Oh, that's
Whoa!
great. I
So
love
that is something to keep in mind.
That's so cool.
All right, what are the other things you can do with bennies ordinarily?
You can soak.
You can soak. That's right. You can make a soak roll in order to negate some or all of the wounds that your character is about to receive. And there's one other thing you can do with it normally.
You can add a D6.
That's
No, that's a fate
only
chip.
in fate. That's only fate chip.
You can use it to get rid of the shaken status. So at any point, you can spend a Benny to get rid of the shaken status. But there are some new things you can do with them. Not
Hooray.
just reroll damage. No. With Bennies now in Savage Worlds Adventure Edition, you can also spend one to redraw an initiative card.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you can spend more than one at a time and take your pick of whichever one of the cards that you would like to keep.
Okay.
So that happens after something like Quick or Level-Headed happens and processes.
Is there a limit?
There is not. The limit is how many bennies you have and are willing to spend on getting a better card.
Spend them all.
Yeah, I'm just
Don't-
gonna be like, all right, first card. I'm gonna be as level-headed as it gets.
Wouldn't
Give me
recommend.
5 cards.
Would not recommend. However, it is important to note that edges like Quick or Level-Headed do not apply to the cards that you are given when you spend a Benny to get an extra card.
Okay.
So if you're Quick, you don't get to send back anything lower than a 6.
Otherwise, you could really just cycle through an entire deck pretty
Correct.
fast.
Yes. Another thing you can do with bennies now is you can regain power points. Now that will not come into effect during ETU because ETU does not really have power points. All magic is ritual, and you guys are just freshmen, so magic doesn't exist.
Magic
Right?
doesn't
Good.
exist.
Yep.
Magic doesn't exist. It's not real.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Exactly. But you can
But
spend a Benny in
That's
order
just
to
in
regain.
this world. Right? That's just in like the ETU world, right? Like magic
Yeah.
exists.
Oh yeah. David Copperfield he's super real.
Oh, thank goodness.
So
I
you
saw
can
Penn and
spend.
Teller and it was.
Yeah, it's magical.
Very good.
You can spend a Benny to regain 1d6 power points. And one final thing you can do with Bennies, you can spend them to influence the story.
Ooh.
So if you feel like your character might actually have that thing that you guys desperately need
gun.
right now. Probably not a gun.
Life drinker?
It is important to
What
note
the-
that is subject to GM approval. Gift gone!
Gone.
Good
Thank you for the
God.
song.
Thanks, Get Gone.
You can spend a Benny And if your GM allows it, it becomes so. So that is something interesting to keep in mind. That's a house rule that a lot of people were playing with, I think, and it has now been baked into the core rules of Savage Worlds Adventure
Ooh, I
Edition.
love that. That's awesome.
I know. So bennies are way more powerful.
Do Jokers still give us bennies?
They do. Again, that was a setting rule, Joker's Wild. That was an optional rule. Now Joker's Wild is something that is baked into the rules. So
great.
anytime you guys draw a Joker, you all get an extra Benny.
Great.
However, anytime one of my NPCs draws a Joker, I get an extra Benny to go into my pool, and if I have any enemy wild cards out, they also draw an extra Benny.
Whoa.
So it goes both ways now, which
I like
I
that.
think is pretty interesting.
That's fair, yeah. Cool.
SF Giants 49.
Thank
you
very
very
much.
much, Giants
Thank you so
49er.
much.
Thank you.
Having said all of that, and there are some other new things that we might run into along the way, but I think we should just go ahead and jump in to the 1980s.
All right.
1988, to be exact. Ronald Reagan is the president. The Iron Curtain is disintegrating, and somewhere over in CERN, they are beginning to talk about this thing called the World Wide Web. They're throwing around that concept, bandying it about. George Michael's Faith was the #1 song of the year. You gotta have faith. Who Framed Roger Rabbit had the giant box office take at this point, because in December, Rain Man will be released and steal from it the #1 spot of the year. Mullets, for some reason, were still deemed socially acceptable. And a car full of college students is heading off to a home in the suburbs. Why are they heading there? Well, that's an interesting question. And in order to find out the answer to that question, we'll have to skip back in time just a little bit. And we're going to go into the office of one Professor Peter Stantz, professor of parapsychology at East Texas University. His office is kept in a dusty, kind of secluded, shadowy corner of the Rockefeller Psychology Center. He's not, parapsychology, not really a super serious field, at least not taken seriously at ETU by any of his colleagues. But you all came to him because you had heard of his books, his best-selling books that are always well received among a certain class of society, those people who tend to believe the extraordinary and are drawn to conspiracy theories and tantalizing bits of information about the unknown. You all experienced a few things in your brief time here at East Texas University, called East Texas University. Now, that's not the school you actually applied to. No, you actually applied to Southeast Texas Institute, which is what it was called last year. But because it wound up being featured as one of the top party colleges in the nation, in order to live down that shame, the university is cleaning house. They brought in a new president by the name of Paul Patterson to shape up the school's image, and he successfully lobbied the state legislature to get the name of the college changed to East Texas University. And that is now the school you attend. And it's a strange place. Mysterious things happen here on the campus. Maybe even a couple of weird things that you have experienced personally. But for whatever reason, not you, Debbie? Not Debbie. No, Debbie is a prime example of normal Americana. You sought out Professor Stantz. And you were very disappointed to find that the Professor Stantz who wrote those best-selling books is a far cry from the Professor Stantz that actually exists. You learned very quickly that A, he was super annoyed that you guys wanted to help him out with his parapsychology stuff. He seems to really like to keep to himself. B, you're pretty sure he made up a fair amount of the things he chronicles in his books, or at least embellished or exaggerated some just to sell copies of his book. And C, he's not a super pleasant guy. Doesn't even really seem to believe his own field of study all that much. In fact, the more time you spend with him, the more you get the impression that he might have missed his calling as a best-selling novelist as opposed to a best-selling academic writer. But seeing as how his books are published through the university press, and ETU stands to make a significant amount of money off of his work, they allow him to stay on in the parapsychology department, even every now and then allocating him some grant money with which he can purchase some equipment. And it was during one of these times that you were hanging out in his office that something came up. Professor Stantz is a very rumpled gentleman. sandy blonde hair, craggy face, sour demeanor. All right, listen. If you all are going to be coming around here a lot and want to get your hands and things, get your fingers in the spooky pie or whatever, yeah, you're going to have to learn to deal with the crackpots.
Okay, just as long as no one knows that I'm dealing with them.
I mean, that's up to you, Deborah.
Well,
I don't. That's not my.
We're all
That's
on
not
the
my
same
concern.
page on that, right?
All right, as the chairman for the Society for the Paranormally Affected, are we okay with calling it that?
That is not an officially sanctioned school organization. I just want you to
Okay,
be
well,
clear
I'm
on
not
that.
wearing any like T-shirts or anything for that.
No, we wouldn't have to do that. But I'm just thinking, if people are paranormally affected, they should have a place they can go and be represented as students. I mean, if you experience things paranormal and you have nowhere to go, you're just out in the
No, I'm gonna stop you right there, Kip, because the last thing that I need is more of you kids running around here, touching all my things and talking about spooky ghosts and stuff. So yeah, we're gonna keep this down low. If I'm gonna let you assist me on this stuff, you're gonna have to keep it really quiet.
And I don't want more people knowing I'm doing this. So I actually like it just being the four of us.
Let's all be more like Deborah.
Yeah, I would prefer to keep it that way.
What if we find something? Don't you want people to know that we saw it?
Unless we have proof and we can show people and be like, look, we saw this. Otherwise, they're just going to think I'm crazy, and I can't have that.
All right,
my
crazy
mom will be
isn't a
so
term that we should use, okay?
All right,
God,
I'm gonna
Kip.
go ahead and I'm gonna cut you guys off right here because I was actually in the middle of saying something before you started having your little student argument.
Sorry.
Whatever.
Well, thank you for your contribution, Squire. All right. What I was saying is you're gonna have to learn how to deal with crackpots. All right. As soon as I got published, they started calling me all the time, telling me, yeah, no, I've seen spooky ghosts, and I've seen, yeah, there's a monster that lives in my closet, and oh yeah, I've been to Mars and the moon and everything. So I got a call. And this lady, she wants me to go check out. She's got a haunted house or some such, and I figure. I'm pretty busy here. I'm deep in the next book that I'm working on. So you all seem real gung ho about things. So I figured when it's time you get out there and get out of my hair. What do you say? You want a chance to do some honest to God ghost sleuthing?
Yeah, I think we should, and then that way maybe we can find some actual proof.
Well, I think it's our duty. If there are ghosts or some sort of paranormal activity active on the campus, the students have a right to know.
Yeah, all those
Okay,
things.
I'll agree with you on that one.
Yeah, but you remember the last time we did this, and it was like a water fountain, drinking fountain that was like running all the time, and we just found out it was just plumbing.
Well, it was making a lot of noises, though. It was making very scary noises.
Yeah, it's just old plumbing, though, man.
Yeah,
And to be fair,
that's common.
that was extremely negligent use of the water resources of the university.
All right, yeah, but that was, as we discovered, just an accident of the pipes. So, yeah, that was a good job on closing that case. No, this one's a little bit different. This lady, he starts flipping through his papers. What was her name? I wrote it down here somewhere. Lisa Gray. Lisa Gray's her name. She called me. She doesn't live here on campus. She lives here in Pine Box, but out in the neighborhoods.
Sorry, Professor Stantz. Is that Gray spelled with an E or an A?
It's America, Kip. Spelled with an A.
Well, actually, Gray can be spelled either.
Jesus, Kip.
God,
No, this is important to get all the right facts in case you go to the wrong lady's house.
It's pronounced the same. Like it don't matter.
Also, I have the address, so it doesn't matter if you know how her name is spelled. You're going to go to the same place.
Okay, yeah, that makes
You're going to say, we're looking for
Of
Lisa,
course.
and then she'll be there. So it's really immaterial, but thank you for wasting everyone's time.
Well, I'm just saying, if we want to write a letter later, we're going to
You're
regret
still
not
doing
doing
it. You're still doing it.
Worry about it later.
You done? You got your commas in the right place, dotted all your T's and crossed your I's?
Yep.
Great.
Sorry for attention to detail.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're going to need that because, yeah, she says her house is haunted. She's hearing all sorts of, she's hearing voices, things are moving around, kids are all spooked and, all that stuff. Listen, I've been to a million of these. It never turns out to be the way that, everyone's just trying to get attention, make their way into the latest book.
Well, maybe this one will be the first.
Yeah, could be. And I will say, a lot of times when you're dealing with these crackpots on the phone, you can tell right away when they're attention hounds or you know, they're just making stuff up on the fly. She did seem legitimately upset. So there is a possibility that this lady at least thinks she's experienced the thing she's experienced. As we've talked about before, 98% of what you do in this field is just find the reasons why people think something's happening, right? So that's what you're there to do. You're there to monitor things and figure out what the rational explanation is, okay? We're not gonna jump on the crackpot bandwagon, right, everybody? We're not gonna go join the crackpots in their crackpot land, okay?
No.
Right?
Unless we find proof, but...
Right, yeah, unless you find proof,
What
Debbie.
do? Do we call the police if we see something? If we get proof, I mean, like, what are we supposed to do?
What are you gonna call the police and say, PK? What are you gonna say to the police?
Hello, there is a ghost in this house.
Mm-hmm.
PK, I hate to shut down your trust in the American system, but you can't trust the police most of the time.
All right, well, that's a little far.
Well,
but I'm
here's
just-
the thing. They're all working for, like, vested interests. And if you come in and you're doing something that's going to upset the status quo, the police are not going to be working for you.
Yeah, save it for your soapbox, Kip.
Teach, what if it's just like a guy, hear me out. What if it's just
All
like
right.
a guy in the attic who is just like banging on shit and like the family don't know it because they never go up there, but it's just a guy who's been living up there and we have to go and we have to rat him out.
Yeah, no, I have on 6 or 7 different occasions found a transient living in someone's attic or basement.
there-
And that's
Well, then you have to call the police for that.
okay.
least.
Yes, all right, fine. If you find a transient person living in their attic or basement, then yes, call the
Okay.
police.
There was
PK.
someone who had a lady living in their cupboards, and they didn't know it, and she would just come out.
That's an
then
urban legend, Deborah.
Well, I
What
was
did you
pretty
do?
sure that was true. I heard it.
Yeah,
Can we go there?
no.
Well, I think it was in Japan or
Well,
something.
I was talking to Cynthia and she was out at Makeout Point and there was a guy with a hook for a hand who was out there as well.
That's
What?
also
We're
a
not there
that's
alive.
also an
Thinking
urban
making out
legend.
with the guy with the hook hand.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
it
this
was
is
good.
why
It
people
was-
don't have freshmen
didn't-
as assistant. Okay, all right. Listen,
No.
I'm literally in the process of trying to get you guys out of my hair, and you are currently right now
Sorry.
just all up in my hair.
We're sorry.
Okay,
We're sorry.
I haven't even given you all the. All right, so yes, call the police if there's transients.
Call the
If you
police.
find
Call the
someone with a
police.
hook for a hand, if there's someone living in the cupboards, if someone's over there hurting a whale or something, Kip, I don't know. You call the police,
I
but
find it hard to believe anyone's going to be hurting a whale.
Is this going to be dangerous?
no, it's not going to be dangerous because all you're going to find is one of the kids is playing a joke, having a goof, or like a neighbor's trying to get them out of there because their tree's growing into their fence or whatever, all right? But that's what I'm saying. You're going to go there, you're going to put on a good display of doing your due diligence, but you're going to be looking out for what's really going on. So I'm trusting you kids with some of our equipment, okay? I just got some shiny new stuff with one of those random grants they send my way from time to time. And this is going to be the perfect time to try it out. You know some stuff about, setting up these electronics, PK. It shouldn't be
I can
anything
help.
that... Deborah, no, you want to keep her away from stuff.
But she wants to help.
Yeah, I haven't seen a television monitor that she can't break just by looking at it askance.
I just need a little more time with them, and I can figure them out.
Sure, but you take time with your own cheap crap. You don't take time with the stuff that I spent
My
a
crap
lot
is
of
not cheap.
university money on.
Yeah,
Okay?
let's be careful with Professor Stance's property, all right?
All right,
I'm
so
always careful.
In a sense, misallocating money is kind of hurting whales. So if you're wasting money on
Yep.
university
Yeah.
I'm
crap,
gonna
think
stop
it's
you. Are
the
you
right
being
time.
serious right now? Are you?
well, I'm just thinking money that you're using wrongly could be spent on a way that would go towards bettering the environment.
18-year-olds
I
are so
checked out for a
insufferable.
minute. Are we going after a whale?
No,
No.
no,
No.
no.
Why don't
Just
you-
listen. Just
Okay.
listen. Everyone, shut up. Shut up about your teenage bullshit, and you listen to me.
Okay, sorry.
Okay?
Sorry,
You
Professor
shut up about
Stans.
it. Just
I'm sorry.
you're still talking.
Okay.
Shut up.
I'm sorry, Professor Stance.
I'm gonna allow it.
Going after a whale would be sweet.
I swear to God, I'm gonna send you with some cameras. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna talk to this gray woman. Her name is Gray. She's not gray in color. I'm just gonna cut it off there.
I don't see how the color of her skin
It
has
doesn't
anything to do
matter.
with
I
what we're
just
doing
thought,
here.
oh my God, you're gonna set up some cameras, all right? You're gonna set up some cameras in the room. She says the spooky crap
They're all
happens,
gray whales.
and you're gonna run a feed You're gonna run a feed. You're just gonna connect all the wires to the bay of monitors. You got all that. It's all loaded up in the. Well, I mean, it's in the bags and the cargo and the boxes and the trunks and whatever. I'll get somebody to set that up.
Send the feed to
the monitors.
To the monitors.
You're just gonna monitor that.
And
all
just
right?
record everything.
Yeah, you're gonna want to be recording everything just so you can point out. Oh, look, it's a squirrel that's running around in your attic and making weird skitter noises. Also, I'm gonna send you with a couple of those instant cameras. Those ones.
A Polaroid.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm gonna send you with some of those. What you're gonna do, you might take a few pictures of things. They're gonna be wanting to see if any ABEs show up or any ectoplasmic residue or anything.
AB what? What was that?
Atmospheric balls of energy. All right,
Atmospheric
that's a commonly reported.
Balls.
Atmospheric balls of energy.
Right. Yeah, we'll see some balls, all right. I bet, right?
PK, he's making a joke.
What?
Sorry. Me as Garal couldn't tell. I had to laugh.
No, that's commonly.
You get it, PK, right?
No, it's very good.
We get it, Squire. We get it. Yeah, balls can be a funny word in another context. All right, we all got our giggles out. Everybody got out all your giggles.
We got the giggles.
Great.
out.
Okay,
Sorry.
you're gonna take some pictures of those. It's commonly reported paranormal phenomenon. Professor Stance needs whiskey. Thank you very much for the tip.
Nerdolopedia by Ventar. Thank you.
Thank you for the raid.
Raise, shields up.
No, never
just
again
sit
during
that
business
next
hours. Never again.
Okay.
You're gonna take some pictures, see if any, you're looking for weird balls of light. All right, if you got yourself an honest to God paranormal incident, there's maybe gonna be some of those floating
We
around.
only take that when the lights are off.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of the time these things are just, redirected reflections of light. You're going to be looking for that stuff. But you take the pictures. Don't read too much into it there. Do not tell Miss Gray that you're definitely seeing ABEs or anything like that. You bring those back to me. I will analyze them. All right? You are not here to analyze. You're just here to observe and report.
Did you tell her we were coming and you're not coming? So she's not surprised.
She's going to be fine with it. She's going to be fine with it.
Okay. All right.
The other thing, sometimes, so you're going to walk around, get a lay of the land, set up some cameras, take some pictures. Probably what's going to happen, you'll find out, most of the spooky crap happens at night. It always does. So you might have to stay over, all right? You're all going to, brew some coffee, get some snacks on the way, and, settle in because you're probably going to have to hang out during the night. She may have some instructions for you. I don't know. But, try and stay out of her business. Do not touch her things. Do not break her things. All right? I am not going to pay for any broken things.
No.
X Diana Moon, thank you very much for the
Thank
research.
you.
Hi, X Diana
Long time no
Moon.
see.
What else? Oh yeah, sometimes these crackpot people, they'll insist on doing a seance or something like that. Don't feed into that, okay?
Can we discuss the use of the term crackpot? It's been coming up a lot, and I think that it's pretty disparaging.
What do you think's disparaging about it, Kip?
Well, if they do actually have something of a mental issue going on, then you are making light of them.
How many best-selling parapsychology books have you written, Kip?
I haven't read any.
How many have you written?
I haven't written any best-selling.
You haven't written any best-selling parapsychology books? I'm going to ask you a question now. How many best-selling parapsychology books have I written?
17.
17 best-selling parapsychology books.
They're very good.
A lot of these people, heads are pots. Little crack in them because they've seen too many things.
Hitler
Making
wrote
up stories.
best-selling books, and that doesn't make him right about things.
I just don't.
I don't see the correlation.
I
there.
actually think I kind of stretched on that one.
I
Too.
think you did
Sometimes
too.
you need to just-
Someone should have a
At least you
name
can
for
see
when
it.
you just jump right to Hitler comparisons for a thing. I feel like that just happens sometimes in conversations. Anyways, what you're gonna do all night, staying up, checking out the place, taking pictures, looking for pipes, looking for all the weirdness, running water, whatever that might be causing this. In the morning, you'll pack it all up. You'll tell her, oh, very interesting. Thanks for having us out. We're gonna run this back up to Professor Stance, and we'll see what's going on. He'll call you. He will call you. Again, you are under no circumstances to say anything that could be construed as something that I or the university takes as an official position. We are not going to say, oh, this is definitely haunted. We're not going to say, oh, sure are a lot of ghosts here or anything like that. All right? Good. I need to
Alright.
hear a capiche from each of
Okay.
you. Capiche?
A capiche.
Capiche?
Capiche?
Yeah, capiche.
Capite.
Yeah, it's good. All right. So, listen, I got a little bit of petty cash. I don't know what else you guys are going to need. So, on the way out there, like I said, I'm going to set you up with the address, some maps. You know, right over there if you want to stop off at a like hardware store, department store, or something, pick up anything else you think you might need. You have $25. That is it. You pay for it. You give me the receipts. I will reimburse you. All right? Okay? All right.
Okay.
Very good.
All right, you get out of here. I got stuff to do.
Okay.
All right, who's driving? I can drive, but I have to drive my car.
I mean, you'd have to ride in the back of my truck.
Oh yeah, let's not take your truck.
I don't know. The truck might be pretty practical. We're gonna have a decent amount of equipment to haul.
Oh,
All right.
that's true. He's
Why don't
right.
we just take my car? We can't all fit in the truck.
But would it fit?
I mean, you could,
Your trunk?
you'd fit in it. It's just going to be outside. It's a truck.
Oh, I don't want to do
They'll
that.
mess up my hair. Let's just take my car.
Now,
Right?
yeah, I mean, keep in mind you are going to have to pack up a fair amount of equipment.
I can put
There's
stuff in
some
my trunk.
heavy-duty boxes of,
What kind of
you
car
know,
do I have?
like
Mid-sized.
yeah, you do have a mid-sized car.
We might be able to all squeeze in. I mean, it's a, you know,
No, I want to squeeze
they're
in
not
the
like
car.
bucket seats or anything.
Debbie, it's not gonna be comfortable, but this
I'll
isn't the
drive.
sort of thing where comfort is our top priority.
Comfort is always my top priority. I mean, actually, it's not. When I
We could
said
always take 2 vehicles. I don't see what the problem is.
that. I think we can fit in my car. We can at least try it first.
And a
we
lot of
can
the
always
equipment
switch.
could probably fit in Mike's, in the bed of Mike's truck.
Sure, we can take both,
You
but
know,
I'm just saying.
let's just load up the equipment and see where we are, right?
Yeah,
That
let's
sounds
try my
practical. I
car.
like that, yeah. Let's just try your car first and see where we go from there.
Yeah.
Well, we can take both. That was a good idea.
Why don't we just try to take one first, and then we can take both if we need to.
So after
Save
much
some
discussion
gas.
and debate about whether or not they were going to take one
Several
car
hours
or
later.
2 cars, they
Well,
finally
Mike.
found out it's probably going to be 2 cars because there's a lot of equipment to load up, and there's no way that all of them plus all this equipment is going to fit in a mid-sized car, even an American-made mid-sized car, which is the best kind of mid-sized car, by the way.
My
So-
car's a compact. It uses fewer resources.
No one cares. At
I
this
care.
point, no one cares, Kip.
I care.
It'll be years before we have to worry about resources. This is the 80s. Everything's gonna be great forever. So, you guys hop in the car, in both cars. So who's riding with who?
I'll ride with Mike.
Okay, can we put the equipment in your car? Because I need to keep an eye on it. He says we have to take
Oh,
care of
well,
the
then you
equipment.
should go with Mike.
Okay, I'll ride with Mike and we'll put the equipment in.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you can basically only fit one other person in the cab, unless you want to have everybody riding in the back of the truck.
Yeah.
So, all right, you get the equipment all loaded up. Now remember, you've been entrusted with this very expensive equipment.
It's very
If
important.
anything goes wrong, it's gonna be your asses,
It's very important.
especially yours, PK.
I know, it's on me.
Yeah. And then you guys are riding together in your mid-sized car.
Mm-hmm.
So remind me, what's the glitch of your mid-sized car, Debbie?
It's temperamental, so other drivers get a -4 to drive it because they don't know how to handle it like I do.
They don't know how to love it in the way that you do. And what is the glitch of your truck?
So left foot, it randomly accelerates until driving roll to
Oh,
slam
no.
on the brakes.
That's
I
right.
can't do that with the equipment.
No, come on, it rarely happens.
We've made a mistake.
Only 25% of the time does that happen.
I don't know that until I get into the car, though. Obviously.
Sure, yeah. All right, so is there anything else that you guys want to stop to pick up that you think might be useful? You have some camera equipment, you have some cables, you've got some monitors, and you've got some instant cameras.
We should get some snacks.
You also, and one more thing that Professor Stantz forgot to tell you because he was just so ready to have his afternoon whiskey break, is that you also have some voice recorders for
Oh, no.
I was gonna say
for,
that, actually.
for potential EVP
Perfect.
as well.
Okay. All right.
I don't think we really need anything else
We need
necessarily.
we should get
snacks,
a-
right?
Well, sure. I was gonna say we get a swiveling fan because that one scene Paranormal Activity. I get the-
I haven't seen Paranormal
What is?
Activity.
We're looking for paranormal activity, PK. Like, what?
I was saying if we get the swivel fan, we can put the camera attached to it, and then we can cover more of the room.
This
Swivel
camera-
fan.
The
Isn't it real
camera's
big?
like this big. How are you gonna put it?
Camera weighs nigh on 30 pounds.
Okay, that cannot be possible then.
Okay.
Is that possible where you're from?
I thought maybe it worked better in America.
Well, not everything actually works better here. Often it does, but not everything.
That is 80s sacrilege. What would Rocky
Yeah.
think?
Cheerleader, come on.
All right, so you guys are just gonna pick up some snacks?
Very
Yeah.
practical for a cheerleader. I don't know.
All right, just snacks. Okay.
Wait, we have $25?
Well, you have a $25 limit
Okay.
that you will be reimbursed.
All right,
Oh,
we're going to get a cube of Mountain Dew. We're going to get as many Slim Jims and
I don't eat meat actually, so
pork cracklings as we can.
can we have something that's not meat?
Oh, I also don't eat meat. Yeah, this makes sense, actually.
Uh,
Now I know I
Well,
remember.
not
What
meat,
are you gonna
sure.
eat?
Like fish.
I think just have some crackers.
Fish is
or-
meat.
And if we get the ingredients, I could cook us something. We should probably cook something if we're going to be
What?
staying there. I could cook for all of us.
I don't know that this woman's gonna want you to cook on her stove.
Oh, so we're going to have to get like a cooking stove, like little burners, like you go
I
camping
think-
with.
I think maybe
Little
we
propane.
could. Yeah. Well, what do you guys want? Like an apple or something?
I like apples, yeah.
I also like apples.
Well, you get some apples then. I mean, we don't have to get the food for you. You can pick out what you want.
All right,
Yeah.
So
PK, let's go get some apples.
just to make sure I'm caught up, you guys are gonna stop by the store and buy a cube of Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Which sounds like just a delightful amount of Mountain Dew. You're gonna get a whole mess of Slim Jims.
Oh, don't forget the coffee.
Mess of Slim Jims.
We need coffee.
Coffee.
We have to stay up.
What do you need coffee for? You got a cube of Mountain Dew.
And
Not
pork
really
cracklings.
good.
Don't forget the pork
Pork
cracklings.
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 And some apples.
Yes.
Am I
For the health nuts.
am I correct in that is your shopping list?
That's
Yeah,
probably
I-
like $3.95.
Yeah, you're gonna have ample money left over in your limit. Will all of you make a common knowledge roll for me? Now this is now a skill. It's a core skill.
okay.
It is no longer a smarts roll. So some of you have a different common knowledge stat than you do a smarts stat.
Wild dice still exists, right?
Wild dice still exists. It's still
checking.
Savage Worlds. You
Just
got
checking.
So wait, did
Oh, I aced. Is it still called ace?
it. Yep.
I just picked up a
Oh,
D20
ace
for
again.
some reason,
Nice.
Wow.
which is not what
so
I'm rolling
13.
there.
13.
Yeah,
Okay, so
Oh, wow.
remember in general, you typically just
yeah.
need a 4 to succeed in Savage Worlds, and anytime you roll the top number on a die, you get to ace and re-roll the die, which is what happened to PK here.
Ace! I got a 10.
A 10. 14?
13.
13.
5.
5.
3.
3. All right, Debbie, you are just really looking forward to cracking into that cube of Mountain Dew with everybody.
I love Mountain Dew.
Keeps you peppy.
It does.
Your mom used to give you some Mountain Dew just before your pageants when you were a small
I do not
3-year-old
drink
girl.
Go-Go juice. Thank you very much.
But the rest of you realize you might honestly need some light or something at night. Like who knows? All the lights might be off in this house. Maybe if they're gonna be asleep, they don't want you turning their lights on and off. So it might not hurt to have a
got it.
flashlight or two.
We could
Okay.
just, every time we need to see something, we just take a picture and the flash goes on. We'll see it for a second,
No, Mike, that's
right?
not. That doesn't.
Then that way
Well,
there's not like a
that's
continual
very,
light
it's
that
very
everyone
wasteful.
will see.
It's very wasteful and very. It's going to run out of resources very quickly.
Yeah,
I think we
about
only have
live
like
is-
30 pictures on the roll too, or something like that.
It's 30 instances of light. It's not good.
Yeah.
Well, all right, whenever you.
We could.
We'll get some
We
flashlights.
could. Yeah, get some flashlights.
Okay.
All right, so we'll add some
Flashlight.
flashlights to the list right underneath Apple, 2 spaces down from pork cracklings. How many flashlights would you guys like to get?
Let's
Might
get.
as well get 4, right?
One for each of us.
You can
would be
get
nice.
you can get 4 of those like cheap drugstore brightly
Yeah.
colored flashlights that you each can have, and some extra batteries.
And then let's get a pack of D batteries, yeah.
A pack of D batteries, the best kind of battery. You can tell it's more powerful because it's so large.
It can
All right.
also be used to chuck at things.
That's true.
Wait, does the camera need batteries?
Which camera?
The cameras that we're using to record?
The instant cameras?
No,
Probably
the
has a
video
battery.
recording.
No,
Yeah.
you're gonna plug
Those
those
are plugged
directly
in.
into
Yeah.
the wall.
Just want to make sure.
Oh, do
Maybe
we
a
have
power
enough
strip?
like extension cords
Like a
and
power
stuff?
strip?
Power strip? Yeah, you could maybe get a power strip.
I
And
think an extension cord.
Yeah.
actually, I'm gonna say all that stuff came packed in with
Okay,
the cameras.
cool.
This is a full.
All right.
This is a full go case for
Great.
setting up like mobile
They will
camera
give
stations.
grants to anything.
What?
Why
They'll
can't,
give grants to anything.
They definitely
why
will.
can't we just get a grant for like going to school?
We should just
Well, that-
ride it,
No,
right?
don't be
Wait,
fair.
I've
I
heard
did get a
grants
grant
before.
for going to school. Got a
Oh,
full
right,
ride.
me too.
Actually, you'd be surprised what
Oh,
you can
no,
get grants
right.
for. If you can word things properly, there are a lot of government programs that try and provide assistance for people.
And
Isn't that
this
like
conversation goes on for quite a while in the car as they head over to the home of Lisa Gray. So you are using your key map in order to navigate to the address that you were given. And
Look at the page, 'cause
everyone's got a key map in the back of their
we
car.
crossed over
What's
the
a
top.
key map?
A key map? Why, that's the way you get around, PK. Here in America.
Like a fast travel system? What are you talking about?
Like a Thomas
What is this?
guy.
Like a Thomas guide.
Yeah.
Like you go through the map,
Like
and then
Rand-
it hits the end of the page, and you got to flip over where it
You
continues.
know how
on
before
the
Google
other.
Maps there was MapQuest? You know how before MapQuest there were just maps?
So it's just a map.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a big book map
Oh, okay.
in your car.
It's Key Map the brand?
Key maps are what my parents had growing up. I don't know if Key Map is. I think Key Map is a
I had
brand.
Rand McNally.
They were called key maps in the same way that adhesive strips are called band-aids.
Okay.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know,
I
Thomas
get you.
guides is what we had in.
Thomas
Okay.
guides.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they give them
Yeah,
many
Thomas.
names.
Everybody's
I
got
see.
different ones.
Sorry.
And after a little while of
Not
driving,
from here.
you end up
Excited. Come on, PK.
around 7 in the evening, pulling in to the cul-de-sac where Mrs. Gray lives.
Where's our Hot Wheels?
You don't have a Hot Wheels car.
Oh shoot! I should have brought my Hot Wheels.
You have a pickup truck and a mid-sized car, both American made. You pull into the cul-de-sac and you can see the address there for the house, clearly notated. That's great.
It's written on our roof.
All right. I guess we should go up before we get all the stuff out, right?
Yeah, I think we need to make sure, check in that she actually knows we're coming before we show up with all this.
All right. I can go say hi.
Okay. Yeah.
Let her know we're here.
Yes.
Okay.
Make sure you have your student ID just to show that we're from the school.
All right. It's a good idea.
All right, I'll come with you. I like to make a first impression.
Okay. Just don't go into your spiels too fast, because that doesn't always make a good first impression around here.
I won't go into any spiels unless she looks like she needs help.
I'm sorry, very quickly. How do you all know each other?
The way, so PK and I are roommates.
Yes.
We
Yes.
were-
You two are roommates.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead.
And I was going to say, after PK and I experienced a small, strange, what we thought was paranormal thing that was small enough that we would have probably written it off, but we both experienced it, and it seemed strange. I put out some flyers on campus that was basically like, hey, have you experienced strange paranormal activity on campus? And that's how they contacted.
Well, and we know each other at least sort of through just sports.
Right, you're a cheerleader.
And
You play
then-
on the football team,
And
Mike.
then PK and I have a class together in one of the gen ed classes.
Biology?
Yeah.
We have biology together.
Okay.
And but yeah, Debbie had some sort of paranormal experience a few times, and she's really afraid that it's going to give her a bad name, like if she doesn't figure out what's going on, but she feels like there's something going on.
You don't want to be known as that
No.
spooky girl on
Well, no,
campus.
that will really hurt my chances of being like a weather lady.
You'll never be a meteorologist with that
I'll
reputation.
never be a weather lady. Yeah, so she wants to basically find proof, and that's why she's here, so that she can prove to everyone that she's not crazy before
She's
she
not
tells
crazy.
them.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. All right, so you two are walking up to the front door while you two start unloading the equipment. Is
Yes.
that the plan?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Very carefully.
All right.
Do so. So, after a long moment, you hear the sound of activity from within, and a youngish woman answers the door. She seems to be in her early 30s. She's relatively tall, and she's dressed like a small town suburbanite would be. Kind of blonde hair. She looks like she was once fairly attractive, but she just seems tired and haggard somehow. And you can see, clutching for dear life, it appears, to her leg, is what looks to be around a 7 or 8-year-old girl who looks very sickly, and she has dark, depressed circles under her eyes, like so dark that her eyes almost seem to be receding a bit into her skull. You know that kind of pale, wan quality that where you can kind of see the skull underneath someone's face? The little girl looks a bit like that.
What the hell, Jordan?
I'm just saying that's a description.
Hey, thanks, H.
He that has no vowels.
He that has no vowels.
Oh,
Thanks very much. Thank you for the
you.
sub.
Clever.
I was like, this is gonna take a little while.
Hi,
Hello.
Mrs. Gray. I'm Debbie Winger, and this is Kip Springfield. We were sent here by Professor Stantz to take a look at your house. We brought some equipment. He said you knew we were coming.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay, Marissa.
Hi. Oh, hi, Marissa.
When you speak to Marissa, she just buries her face
Oh,
in her mom's
sorry.
leg. She's a bit shy. She doesn't like it's please don't take
Oh,
offense.
I remember I was a bit shy myself. No offense taken.
I'm sorry. I was under the impression that Professor Stantz was going to be coming. I spoke to him on the phone, and he said that he would come down and look into this little problem.
We spoke to Professor Stantz. I'm sorry, we didn't introduce ourselves as a group. We're the Society for the Paranormally Affected. We're still working on the name exactly, but
Society for the Paranormal.
when he told us that you had this trouble, we volunteered to come and help you out.
Well, he just thought it would be better to send more of us so we could do the preliminary work, and then we're going to take our findings back to him so he can look them over, and then he's going to call you with after he looks through all the evidence that we collect.
No, and she kind of looks out past you guys to where PK and Mike are unloading things from the truck.
Be careful, it's very...
So they're with you too?
Yeah, they got all the equipment.
Come on, y'all are just kids. I
But
told Professor Stantz that I was at my wit's end, and he said he would help. He said he could help.
Well, I think that we can help, Mrs. Gray. We've actually all had experiences ourselves, so we have an interest in trying to help out others like this.
Ma'am, we may just be kids, but we are capable, and we are here to help.
I'm not interested in having research be conducted. I want this to stop. And Professor Stantz said he could help me figure out how to stop it.
Well,
and that's what he's...
Well, we can't stop...
He's supposed to be here to do.
We can't stop anything if we don't know what it is. So that's the part we're here for, is figure out what it is first.
Okay, so she seems really resistant to you guys coming in and not being Professor Stantz. So if you are going to do the job that you were sent here to do, you're probably going to need to change her mind a little bit about this.
I'm
so
trying.
I would say it's time for a persuade roll.
No, call her out, Bogue.
Yeah. I call you out.
No, what? No.
I brought a
Now,
gun.
both of you are here. So if you would like, one of you can persuade and the other one can support that persuasion. However, you do not have to have persuasion in order to support in the new edition of Savage Worlds. As long as you can justify the use of a skill that you think in this instance would be helpful, you can make that roll to support one of your fellow teammates. And if you succeed, they get a +1. If you succeed with a raise, they get a +2 on what it is that they're trying to do. So it seems like Debbie is taking point on doing the talking here.
I got the persuasion here.
Okay, so would you like to try and help her out, Kip?
Yes, I have the same persuasion.
You do.
Whoa, persuasion team.
This side of the table is not going to go right with persuasion.
Persuadey side.
Do you have a +1 to it?
No.
I got a +1.
So you got that. So I will support.
Okay.
I would probably also support with persuasion.
Okay. And you both did that very clearly just then when you were talking about how you yourselves have been affected and you're trying to figure out what's going on. So I would say go ahead and make your roll, Kip,
All right.
and we'll see what you add by supporting a teammate.
Okay, so I have a D8 in persuasion.
Okay. You'll roll your wild die as well.
Oh, I rolled bad. I got a 2.
A 2. Not so bad that it's a crit failure, though.
Nope.
Because as established, you cannot re-roll those. Also, I would like to point out, and this is for you guys to remember, in Savage Worlds in general, when you don't run wild cards every night on Fridays, you give out bennies to your players when they play up their hindrances, when they do something cool or awesome or something that's fun or, appropriate to the situation. In addition to when a joker is drawn. That's because you're not constantly getting rerolls from the chat unlocks because you're playing at home and there's no chat watching you.
What?
So I am out of practice with awarding bennies. So if at any point you guys want to, without pushing it too hard, tell me that you think what you did deserves a Benny, I'll probably agree with you. But I might need a little coaxing, because as I said, I'm out of practice.
Well, after that first conversation, I think we're all owed 3 to 4 bennies.
Right. So that's the kind of thing that we're going to want to watch. I'm going to nip that one in the bud right there.
Okay.
However, I will go ahead and give all of you a Benny for playing up your characters in that initial conversation with
Hooray!
Professor Stantz.
Yeah.
Because I felt truly beleaguered, as I imagine Professor Stantz probably would have felt as well. So I'll go ahead and award you those for beleaguering a professor.
Very good.
All right.
Very good.
So you made your roll. You rolled a 2.
You know what? I would like to actually re-roll that with one of my bennies.
Okay, so give that right back to me. Thanks very much.
I'm just gonna take my dice out of this thing because
I'm gonna
it's
get
taking
some
me time to take
pork
them out.
cracklings and Mountain Dew.
All right, yeah, you go get that cube and then pork cracklings, Mike. All right, so re-rolling with a Benny.
Much better.
Ooh, ace
All
on
right,
the D8.
ace on my 8. So that puts it up to 13.
Okay, so that's a success with a raise. So you're gonna add a +2 to Debbie's
+3
attempt here.
Go, Debbie, go.
That's
I'm the
an
cheerleader now.
ace.
You aced on your wild die.
So that's 9, 12.
12. All right, that's a success with 2 raises, which is a pretty good success. So she kind of looks at you guys for a little bit and takes in what you're saying, and then she looks out to you two unloading the car. Do you?
Hello.
All right, listen. You seem like nice enough folk. I suppose. And you said you work with Professor Stantz,
We do.
so you got some experience with this kind of stuff.
Yes, well, he wouldn't have sent us with this equipment that's brand new from a grant if he didn't trust us to handle this correctly.
So he's not just kind of just pawning off my situation.
No, I'll
on...
tell you, he does do that to a lot of people, but he said specifically about you that he was pretty sure what was going on here was really happening.
And that is not a lie, so I will not call for a roll for that.
Not to mention, ma'am, even if Professor Stantz isn't always the most reliable person, we are technically an independent action group. And we care. We want to make a difference. We want to help you with what's been happening to you. So the fact that we've been given these resources might even be better than Professor Stantz having them.
All right. Well, seeing as you're already here and you're unloading your equipment, and honestly, at this point, I'll take any help I can get. So, how does this work? Do you need to bring your equipment inside? Should I give you a tour of the place, or do we talk? What's the procedure?
Well, I think it would be best if you showed us, all 4 of us, around the house and showed us maybe the specific areas where things have been happening, and then we'll come in and set up our equipment in some of those specific places, if that's all right with you.
Okay. Sure, that might be tricky, but yeah, come on in. You can just bring the equipment in whenever you're ready. Matthew, honey, we got some people coming in. All right, so don't worry. They're friends of Mom's. All right, yeah, you folks come on in.
All right.
I walk in and I just look at her and I go, ma'am, and I look at the little girl and I wink.
If she has just now turned her face up from being buried in her mom's hip, and you wink at her and smile, and she again buries her face back at her mom's side. So
Cool.
she does bring you in. So you guys are starting here in the entryway there, and this is a layout of Lisa Gray's home.
Is it all 1 floor?
It is all 1 floor. Okay, so do we? I walk you around and show you stuff, or do we talk first, or how does
Well,
this work?
why don't you show us around first, right, so we can see the house, and as we come to a room, maybe you can tell us what was happening there, if that's how it worked.
Okay, all right. And you notice she's put a protective hand on Marissa's head, and the little girl still has her face buried in her mom's side. But this almost seems unconscious to Lisa at this point. Like, this is something that she's just used to. Okay, so this is the entryway here. We got our family pictures there. Can everyone make a notice roll for me?
Great.
I keep just automatically grabbing the die for my.
Yeah,
my
you're used to
game.
your Deadlands characters, but these are just freshman
same.
college students.
Whoa.
I got a 4.
Thanks.
Got a 4,
Oof, I got a 2.
a 2,
That's
I got a
good.
10.
a 10.
I got a 5.
Is that with your -2?
Yep.
It was. Yeah.
Okay, all right, great.
What are you going to notice?
So
my ADHD.
Oh.
a 10 and a 5, and then you two did not get a success, right?
I got a 2.
I got a 4.
You got a 4. Okay, so everyone but Debbie again, and I imagine this is going to become a theme. Notice there are pictures of Marissa up on the wall, although she looks much happier and much healthier as a younger girl, and then as she is now. There is also a picture of what appears to be Marissa's younger brother, who you're guessing is Matthew, a short little kind of buck-toothed, buzz-cut blonde kid with really bright eyes. Pictures of Lisa, and then there is also some family pictures that appear to have a man in them as well. You would judge by the way the children look that this is Marissa and Matthew's husband. All right, so this is the front entryway here.
Marissa and Matthew's father, not their husband.
Yeah, sorry, father, not their husband.
Texas, weird.
No,
I
not
might know what the problem is here.
even in the
I
80s.
fixed it. I solved it.
Seems
We
you
have to
have
call
been,
the cops immediately.
you're a tad too incestual. Chalk that up to the paranormal society of investigators or whatever you guys
Incestual
are.
people are always seeing ghosts.
All right.
That's a real thing. No.
Yeah.
So over
was in-
here,
Books 12.
and she points off to the right to that room there. That's my office. That's where I do some of my work around the house. Did you need to like look at every room or how's it
Well,
work?
what is it specifically? I mean, do you have anything that's been happening in this room?
And she kind of grabs the little girl's head and just kind of pats it reassuringly. She says, honestly, there isn't any specific room that any of this has been happening in. It's just kind of been it's been an all over kind of thing. I'll just finish giving you the tour and then
Well,
yes.
maybe we can make things simpler. Was there a first place that you noticed something happening?
Well, can we maybe talk about this after I give you the tour? It's just it's a bit upsetting and then.
Of course, ma'am.
Of course,
All right,
Mrs. Gray.
okay,
of
so
course.
this is my study, and you kind of peek in. It appears to be lined with books on the wall. It looks like kind of like a private little library. There's a nice table with what looks like a word processor on it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Try and keep your stuff together, Mike. Yes, a lot of those books belonged to my husband. He was kind of a history buff. All right, and then over here, that's our dining room. So the dining room looks really nice. It has a very nice, large, polished wood table. You see a display case that has fine china, and at the top, a row of like dolls and little figurines, kind of in a glass case.
That's not creepy.
That's the dining room there, and then if you just come with me this way, right up here, and then she indicates the left over here. That's the kitchen, obviously. And I don't know. Do you stay? You're gonna stay through the night to try and.
If you don't mind, ma'am.
Yes, if you
That's
don't
fine. I mean, that's what Professor Stantz said was going to be the procedure, so that's fine. I got a couple extra, some sodas and some stuff. Feel free to help
that's
yourself to
very
anything
kind.
in the
If
fridge.
you'd
That's
like, I
very
can make you.
nice.
I can make dinner for everybody.
Oh, that's okay.
We're guests in your home, and it's custom to, make dinner for the family that you're
I
staying
appreciate it. I just realized I'm not myself. I didn't get any of your names. I was just about to thank you, and I realized I hadn't even asked. What is your name?
I'm sorry, I'm Prakash Dureja, but people call me PK.
Prakash
Dureja.
Dureja, but people call you PK.
That's right.
I guess that's what we'll do too.
It's very fine.
Thank you very much for the offer, PK.
Yes.
But we already ate. We have a little bit of an early meal here in the house, and I'm sorry. You are
My name is Mike Squire, ma'am.
Mike Squire. Oh, you were the boy that played. You're the football. The football star.
I did play football.
Yeah. Are you still playing?
Yeah, ma'am. I played with the Ravens.
Oh, well, that's nice. That's nice. All right. Well, good.
football
Good for
star.
you. And you are
I'm Debbie.
Debbie. All right. Of course.
And Kip.
Kip.
Kip Springfield. Sorry, I should give you my whole name.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Lisa, great. Here's Marissa, and then somewhere around here I have little Matthew. He likes to play on his own.
How old is little Maritza?
Oh,
Hello.
Marissa,
Please.
she's 7, and as she's a bit shy.
Is she okay?
She's fine. So right, the dining, the kitchen. Like I said, help yourselves. It's a nice kitchen. Refrigerator. There's a nice island in the middle. It's all decked out. It seems like the Grays did pretty well for themselves. Okay, and then just keep going back here. I guess over there, that's the laundry room. Through there. That's the line. That's where we got the washer and dryer. You're gonna want to be careful heading out that way. A garage is out there. There's a storage closet back there. There's no windows back there though. It gets a little bit dark at night, so just watch your step. If you're poking around in there, I don't know if you'll need to, but just be mindful. Sometimes the kids leave things out, and I got the laundry baskets and whatnot.
By the way, through this entire tour, he's eating pork cracklings right now.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's totally fine.
Are they crackling as you eat them?
Yes.
Okay, good.
100% they're crackling. The kids' rooms are over there. We got their bathroom right through there. They share it. It's connected to both of their rooms. There's Matthew's bedroom through that door. That's where he stays now. Professor Stantz told me you might need to do some investigating in all of the rooms. I just want to let you know Matthew's a really solid sleeper, so you can walk through his room or do whatever you need to do. As long as you try and stay a little bit quiet, you're not going to wake him up for nothing. Sometimes I can't get him up in the mornings even to get him to school. And then back over here, that's Marissa's bedroom. Although you can feel free to go through there. She doesn't sleep in there anymore. The living room's back here. She walks you guys into a very nice, comfortably appointed living room. There's a comfortable looking sofa, a fairly large TV. I mean, this is like 27 inches. Yeah, it looks heavy.
This is great. Your home is very lovely.
Is it a rear projection?
It is, of course, a rear projection.
What does your husband do?
Oh, my husband was he was an insurance agent. He's passed on.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
It's no problem. It was about 2 years back. So it's fine. But he made sure we were taken care of, and he had a nice policy out, and it's what he was always selling people. And it turns out, it is very helpful when tragedy strikes. So we do okay.
Well, ma'am, is there a reason that your daughter doesn't sleep in her room anymore? Just that maybe pertains to this situation?
Yes. Maybe in just
of course,
moment.
yes.
Right. Where was I? Oh, right. So that's my bedroom. That's where Marissa's been sleeping a lot of late. She's been sleeping with me. So we'll be holed up in there. I mean, it's getting close to the kids' bedtimes anyways, so we'll be out of your hair. But Marissa, unlike her brother, is a little bit of a light sleeper, so I'd ask if you do have to come in there, just keep it quiet, or maybe avoid it if you can.
Well, maybe we could go through her room before it gets dark, and when she has to go we go through that room before it gets dark, and when she has to go to bed, we could try and avoid it unless there's some sort of activity that pulls us there.
All right, sure. And then just in there, I've got my bathroom, my closet, and that's pretty much it. Well, should we grab a seat here in the living room? Matthew, come on out and meet everybody. Don't be rude. And she grabs a seat with Marissa, who has been, just holding on to her leg this entire time, and sits down on the sofa. And you hear the scampering of feet and a door swinging open back in the hallway. And a very energetic little 6-year-old runs into the room. Hi. Hi. Oh, hi.
Hi there.
Mom,
Matthew?
Mom, you said there's just going to be one old man here.
Oh.
No, honey, that's not polite. No, these folks they're with the professor. They work with him. They're here to they're gonna do some science here in our house tonight. Oh, I like science. I like. Do you guys know Star Wars?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I like the Ewoks. They're my favorites. They're the little bears, and they wear hats. And they live in tree houses. Did you know? They live in tree houses.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
And my favorite Ewok, he doesn't have honey. They're not here to talk about your Star Wars. Okay, we were just gonna have a conversation. I just want you to come out here and just sit down with the adults for a little bit. They might have some questions for you. Oh, okay. But if you have any questions about Star Wars or anything like that,
We'll
I can
definitely
answer.
come to you.
Okay.
I actually have a few.
All right. Yeah, you can
How
talk to
about
me. I know all about it. I know all about it. I have all of the action men in my room. So, Tipsy Flipper, thank you very much for the bits.
Thank
Tipsy
you.
Flipper.
So you guys grab a seat and sit down in the living room, and Matthew kind of just parks himself over by the foot of the sofa and just kind of wriggles around for a bit. He seems kind of bored and energetic, doesn't really seem all that interested. Lisa seems exhausted, and Marissa is just now curled up on the sofa next to her, just with her face buried in her mom's side. I don't really know where to start. So you were asking about any particular activity, or that's what you called it?
Right.
Ma'am, do you mind if we take some pictures while you're telling us about this?
Oh, sure, if you need to.
I think it just might be a good idea to get some pictures of the rooms in their base states. And then if we notice anything strange and there's something different in the pictures, we'll have something to compare it to.
Oh, that's very smart. That's very smart.
Whatever, Kip.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think it's a good idea. It's
So,
very smart.
Thanks, PK.
it's been about 2 months, I think. That's when all this stuff started happening, and I honestly I don't know what to do. I've tried everything. I've called. At the beginning, it started one night. Marissa, she just woke up screaming, just in the middle of the night. I think it was early morning, maybe. She was screaming that there were some men here to kill her.
Oh my goodness.
And she was sleeping in her room at that time.
She was sleeping in her room, and you can see
We're right next to her room, right?
So this is the living room here,
And her room
and then
was
right
right
over
next to
there
it.
is Marissa's.
So when
room.
she says that, I'm gonna go over and just open the door to Marissa's room and just take a Polaroid.
Okay, so you're gonna snap a picture of Marissa's room, and then just kind of like you gotta let it come out and
Yeah,
shake it a little bit,
Which I now know
to
is
see.
actually bad for those pictures, but
But that's what you do.
did it anyway.
That's what you did. You gotta shake it. Yes, she was screaming so loud she woke me up from my room, and I ran in there. Obviously there weren't any men there to kill her, but it took me hours to calm her down, and then by that point we were just both so tired. I just didn't even send her to school that day. I thought it was just a nightmare, but it just kept getting worse. She wakes up every night now screaming, and she's talking about the most awful things. Matthew is kind of like talking to himself at this point and just sort of like playing with his fingers and everything. He seems to be getting really bored. Make a notice roll for me.
Ooh,
Oh yeah.
nice.
I got a 9.
9,
3.
3,
1.
1. Wow.
I got a 4.
4 and a 9. Okay. So you two, maybe Kip, you're looking around like trying to just get a feel for the place as she's talking, and
I've probably taken a few other pictures, and every time I take a picture, I just take out a little like a felt tip pen and like label it and be like Marissa's room or the kitchen. And,
that sounds like a good process.
and then just wait for it to put it off to the side so we can develop.
Okay. So you're maybe being a bit more focused on the kids as well. You feel like Matthew's disinterest in what is happening is not entirely authentic. You feel like he is intentionally not listening to the things that his mom is talking about. She said she was seeing people that were being burned alive or skinned or just piles of dead bodies, and now she won't sleep at all. She says she's afraid that the dark man will take her. And Matthew pipes up. He says, Mom, I can I go play in my room? I kind of left all of like Luke Skywalker was just about to save one of the Ewoks from a bounty hunter.
Matthew actually had a question for you.
Oh, you have a question for me?
I do. Have you seen any of the same things your sister has, or anything along those lines? I mean, your room is right next door. So, is there?
I have seen all of the Star Wars movies. I saw all of them in my dad took me to a drive-in movie theater to see the old ones, but then I got to see all of the old ones at a drive-in movie theater.
Matthew, you remember in the second Star Wars movie?
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. Remember how even though Obi-Wan Kenobi died in the first movie, he comes back and you can see through him. Have you seen anything like that in real life?
Mom, this I think this is all adult stuff. I'm just gonna go play in my room for a little bit. Oh, okay, honey, you go play in your room. Lisa says to him, and she kind of casts an apologetic look at all of you as Matthew goes running off. And again, you feel she kind of just covers Marissa's head a bit and says, he seems to feel safer in his room. It's getting to where he doesn't really want to come out of there much at all. I think he likes having his little action figures around. If you need to talk to him, maybe you can in a little bit in his room. That's where he likes to spend most of his time now. He might be more likely to answer your questions in there.
Okay, ma'am.
But I wouldn't press too much. He's just a little boy.
So I noticed you mentioned that your daughter was seeing men burning and bodies.
Yes, that's what she says.
Now, I'm not doubting anything you're saying, but just trying to figure out things that could possibly cause stuff. Have they watched any of that Vietnam War footage that they used to be on the news?
That's such horrible.
No,
one should see that.
I don't believe so.
Because there was that monk who burned himself.
Yes, please. We can
I know,
talk in a little bit.
I'm
There's
sorry,
been
ma'am.
enough. As far as I know, no. I mean, Matthew loves watching his action movies and all of that, and I'm sure there's scary stuff in those sometimes. But Marissa, she's more of a reader. She doesn't watch a lot of TV or anything like that.
What sort of books does she like to read? Anything that would be causing these things with a very vivid imagination?
I don't know. Fairy tales mostly. I'm not sure. And at this point, Marissa is kind of looking back around at all of you, but she's still being really quiet. She doesn't read much of anything anymore. We're none of us sleeping too well. So where was I? Right. All right. So around the third night that happened, I decided I'd sleep in her room with her. Maybe she was just having some scary times at night, waking up from bad dreams, so I slept with her. And I remember, because the clock in the hall had just struck midnight, and I was awake, and she was asleep, and I was just checking on her, and I was noticing that she was starting to shake, and she was muttering to herself in her sleep, and I just kind of moved over just to comfort her, like I did when she was little. And that's when I noticed something out of the corner of my eye. It looked like a shadow, but it was so tall. Must have been at least 7 feet, taller than anybody I know, and it looked like it was just standing at the foot of the bed, and out of the corner of my eye I saw it turn and walk towards the door, and I looked at it, and Marissa just sat up screaming in the bed, and I started screaming too. I didn't know what was happening. I thought maybe someone was in the house, but I swear, as soon as we both started screaming, it just was gone. It left. It's just vanished, and I laid up the rest of that night just wondering how long it was standing at the foot of the bed just staring down at us. And I know that sounds crazy, but there's been other stuff too. But things have been moving around in the house, and not just moving a little bit. Things were flying off shelves or crashing. At one time I thought that something was thrown at me, is what it felt like. But the kids, they were... Well, Matthew was in his room. Marissa won't leave my side nowadays. And the lights are turning on and off, and the appliances are starting up. And then now at night there's banging noises. Just... It's so hard to sleep. Now I can't sleep either, and I'm taking off as much time as I can from work just to try and make sure Marissa's okay, but I can't send her to school. If I leave her sight for even a moment, she just starts screaming. So we're trying to stay calm, aren't we? We're trying to keep everything quiet, and Matthew seems fine. He hasn't been having any bad dreams, but I think sometimes I hear him talking in his room, and it doesn't sound like he's talking when he's playing with his toys. It sounds like he's talking to someone. And I asked him. He said he's talking to someone named Amy, but we don't know anyone named Amy. But then the other day he said he's worried that the dark man will hurt them. And I don't know what he means by them. I hope he doesn't mean us. But I just don't know what to do. I tried taking the kids to a motel, but it started happening there too. It seems like no matter where we go, it just follows us. So I don't, that's why I called Professor Stantz, but I didn't even call him first. I called the police. I thought maybe there were intruders, but they laughed me off. I called a priest to see if he would come and I don't know, do an exorcism or something like in that movie, but they just told me I was crazy. Not in so many words, and I just don't know what else to do. We just want it to stop.
And how long has this been happening again?
2 months now. 2 months, and it's just getting worse and worse.
Well, hopefully we can find something.
I hope so.
Did anything happen before those 2 months? Something that changed in your life? Some event?
Well,
Anything that might have triggered something?
I'll be honest, when things first started happening, there was a part of me that was thinking it might be the children's father or something. I don't know, but I
said
don't.
He died.
That was 2 years ago, and that this doesn't feel like my husband. The only other thing I could think. I mean, it's been. I'm sure you saw on the news what happened in our neighborhood. The man they found dead in his home.
I don't think we heard that.
Yeah, I think we missed it.
Oh, well, that's our next door neighbor. That's our next door neighbor, and Mr. Mons. A few months ago, well, he died, but the police didn't find him until he was in his, I don't know, days later. And it turns out when they were going through all of his things, that he was a Nazi.
A Nazi?
He was, yes.
There are still
apparently-
people who are Nazis?
Well, no, he was in the war, and apparently he was hiding out, and that's I have to say I was surprised. He always was such a nice old man, you know. He kept to himself, but we'd always wave, and he was always so good with the children on the block. He gave out, you know, a lot of Halloween candy every year. Just a sweet old man, I thought. So it was a bit of a shock, and you know, they say he died of natural causes, but well, I don't. It's okay.
What house did he live in?
Right next door. So when you were driving up, you probably saw it. It's at the end of the cul-de-sac, just that one right over there. They when they found him, they say he was partially mummified. You know, dried out like a prune.
How could that be?
I have the news clipping somewhere nearby if you want to see it. And she kind of takes her hands off Marissa, and she goes over to the coffee table where there's a family Bible, and she riffles through the pages and pulls it out. I guess here it is.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. Marissa has been looking around and paying a lot of attention to you guys at this point. Is anyone paying attention to Marissa at all during this?
Well, probably. I mean, since she keeps talking. I mean, Marissa seems to be the one that it's associated with.
Anyone who is paying attention to Marissa, make a notice roll for me at a -2.
This in front of me now.
Well, I got a 1.
A 1.
A 1.
A 1.
A 1, a 2.
So you were the only one?
Uh,
Yeah. When she sees you looking at her, she makes a strange face and then buries her head back in her mother's side.
This is wonderful.
Well, yes. So I don't know. That was strange. That was an upsetting thing to discover. But that's the only thing I can think of that happened recently.
Mrs. Gray, if I could ask you, how did your husband pass away?
Oh, it was just sudden. It was one of those things, just a heart attack. He was in perfect health, and they don't really know what caused it. The doctors just said as best they can figure. It's just happens sometimes.
Was it when he was sleeping, or Was he doing some sort of strenuous
He
work?
was actually driving his car at the
Oh,
time.
I see.
So
man.
they said the heart attack might have been something that he could have survived, but he lost control of his vehicle and
I'm so
there was
sorry.
an accident.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Thank you. It's in the past.
Mike, PK, Debbie, if you could just keep finding any more information you can. I want to go take some pictures of Mike's room before.
Very good, yes.
Okay, so some of your pictures are beginning to develop. Tipsy Flipper, thank you for the sub.
And
Tipsy Flipper.
I haven't left the room really to take these pictures, but I've been like
Poking into the
I'll
other
poke
rooms.
into the rooms that are like connected to it and take pictures. And I've taken some angles on, and I've taken pictures of Marissa and her, and just things like that.
Okay, and you've labeled them, right? So how many
Yes.
pictures altogether have you taken? So you've taken a
I-
picture of the kitchen.
So I've taken a picture of the kitchen.
Yep.
I've taken a picture of Marissa's room.
Okay.
I've taken a picture of the like back-facing wall in this living room that they were sitting in.
Okay. Over by the sofa.
Oh, yeah.
That's
so they
where
were
they
on
are.
that side. So I kind of just took two angles on this room.
Okay.
And then I also what is that's the mom's bedroom.
That's the mom's
is over
bedroom.
on
That's the
other
mom's
side.
bedroom, yes.
I also leaned in there and took a picture of the mom's bedroom.
Okay. So the pictures have developed, probably because you were shaking them so hard.
That's how they work.
Shake them real hard.
The pictures that you took of the kitchen, of the living room, and of the mother's bedroom, of Lisa's bedroom, there's a lot of what looks like lens flares all over the pictures. Just a bunch of bright spots sort of floating around in all of those. You can't tell if it's maybe imperfections on the. It's present in every single one of these pictures. So you're starting to think it might be something on the lens, or maybe something from the light or something. The picture you took of Marissa's bedroom doesn't develop. It just comes out pure white.
That's strange. Before I go to Matthew's room, give me 1 second. I'm gonna step back into Marissa's room and take another picture.
Wait, what are you doing? Are you taking another photo of...
PK, take a look at this. I'll hand you the photos.
It hasn't developed yet.
You think there's something strange on the camera? I mean, that was the first photo I took. Maybe the shutter got stuck or something like that.
Maybe the cameras... Maybe we have another one? Another Polaroid? Or is that the only one we got?
Is something wrong? Is something the matter?
It just might be the camera is...
It's new equipment.
Yeah, it might just be needing some sort of repair or something. We can try another camera. It just might be something wrong with the lens. Or
I think this is the only Polaroid we have, but we had a couple more rolls of film in the car. Although, I think we should probably use this roll up, even if it's not working too well.
Let's go through this one and then let's switch rolls.
Oh, okay. Well, just you do what you need to do. Is that it? Do you need to talk to us anymore, or should we get out of your way and let you do your thing?
I think we have enough to begin our assessment. We can set up some cameras. I wanted to set up some cameras and have a feed going to a central location so we can detect anything that happens overnight.
Sure. Do whatever you need to do.
Let me set up your room first. That's where you're going to be sleeping. Is that all right?
Well, I suppose so. You're gonna be filming us sleep?
Nothing close by. It'll be in the corner of the room. You won't even notice it. But it's to see if anything happens. We can detect changes in the room outside. But if you're not comfortable, of course, this is your home. We are guests here, so...
Well, no, it's just a bit unusual. I've never had anyone, film.
Ma'am, I know it's strange, but if there is something going on here, catching it on film with modern day technology is going to verify what you're saying.
Yeah, the police can't say no to that. I mean, nobody could say no if we caught it on film.
Well, listen, fellas. Maybe we don't take a, put a camera in her room. Maybe because it's the young one's room that's getting all the heebie-jeebies. Maybe we put a camera in there and maybe around, but maybe not in your room, so you can sleep sound with your little girl there.
Well, Rocky Mountain Games, thank you for the sub.
Hey, thank you for the sub.
It's not that I do want you to be able to do what it is like I said, I just want this to stop. But if you put a camera in our room, you don't have it pointed at the bed, so
that's fine. That's fine. Whatever you're comfortable with, that's all right.
All right.
I think. Hey, how many cameras do we have?
40?
5.
45.
Just 5.
45.
45 cameras.
Oh, sorry, I have
This
learned.
grant was for like $210,000.
Yeah.
We have 5 cameras.
You've got about 5 cameras.
I figure her bedroom is good. The children's bedroom would be 2 other locations. Maybe the office. I don't. If there are any other locations you recommend for us to record.
I suppose, like I said, things. One time a glass flew at me in the kitchen.
The
Would it
kitchen.
be?
That's
right?
fine. That's one more.
And I don't know. Things move around sometimes at night. I think. I just wake up and find things in different places.
Ma'am, is there any way that someone could get into your house?
I hope not. I make sure to lock the doors up every night.
What about the garage, maybe?
I mean, the garage we keep locked tight as well.
Well, there's the dining room, and that's about it. And the garage, I suppose. The washer dryer room.
Sure.
Does anything happen in there?
As I said, there don't seem to be any rhyme or reason to
Why
this.
don't we do the laundry, the dining room, and then since we're probably going to be sleeping on the floor in the living room, we'll be close to the other rooms anyways.
Sure.
All right. Can everyone make another notice roll for me, please?
Ooh, easy boy. Ooh, onesie boy.
Got a 9.
9?
Keep rolling 9s on my
5?
dice rolls.
I got an 8.
8? Okay.
3.
3. All right. So you're looking around, Mike, and trying to figure out where cameras would be best to place. You've never done this before. None of you have ever done this before. So, but you're gonna take this really seriously. You don't want to be left behind as far as like where the camera placement goes. You got a 5?
Yeah.
All right. So you notice again, Marissa seems to be really interested in what you guys are doing, and she seems to be paying very close attention. You two, since you both got a success with the raise, notice that she seems to be looking at the pictures that you took that have all of the like just flares on them. And you're not sure, but it looks like her lips are moving, like she might be very quietly whispering something.
Hey, Marissa, have you seen anything like these white lights before?
Don't be scared. It's all right. We're here to help.
Hey, you like whales, Marissa?
She looks up at her mom, and then she looks at you, and she...
I take off a pen I have that's like a Save the Whales. I'm like, hey, you can keep this. This is...
Ooh. You gonna give a little girl a present?
Yeah.
Okay, make a persuade roll, and I'm gonna give you, it's a hard persuade roll, but I'll give you a +2.
Okay.
Because you're giving her a gift. Azimuth77, thank you very much for the sub. So this is
Thank you
gonna
very
be
much.
persuade at a -2
All right.
instead of at a -4.
All right. Oh, I aced on
Oh, you aced on both.
both.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a good feeling roll. Okay, so that is a 10 -2, so that's an 8.
An 8. Okay, that's a success with a raise. So you hand her a button that I assume says "Save the Whales."
And it has a little picture of a whale on it.
Okay.
Humphrey the whale.
Yeah. Yeah.
Free.
And
Humphrey the whale.
she takes it from you, and kind of looks at it, and then looks up at you with like real big eyes, and then kind of smiles and shows it to her mom.
Now
And-
be careful with that. Don't poke yourself with that pin.
Oh, she will be careful. I haven't honestly seen her smile like that in forever. You like that whale pin? And then she just kind of keeps looking at you and smiling shyly.
Marissa, have you seen any things in this picture before? Just like this?
I see them right now.
Right now.
They're all around us.
What's all around us?
The people,
You're seeing people right now?
they're everywhere.
What sort
Hey.
of people?
Marissa, you see people, the person in this photo?
Is there a person in the photo?
No.
It's just
It's
just a
the one
photo
with the
of...
white lights. Like with the...
They don't look like that.
There's no one in that?
That they don't look like that.
Who is in this photo?
She seems to be kind of clamming up again.
Hey, it's okay. You don't have to tell us.
You could
But
make
you know-
another persuade roll.
I say, but you know who would probably like to know?
Who?
Humphrey the whale. He loves
Humphrey the
knowing
whale,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Make another persuade roll, but I'll give you a +2 to this one because she's real into this whale.
Okay, so that's a 6.
A 6. Okay. Okay, I'll tell Humphrey.
Now, don't be too quiet. He's a whale. You gotta make big noise for a whale to hear it, because he's a big creature.
They can't hear?
No, they can hear, but they're, you're real small compared to a whale, even though he's small in that, so you gotta be loud.
And
Okay.
they're underwater, so you have to, speak loudly, clearly.
Humphrey, those people are always here. They're real scared because the black monster has them, and he hurts them. Some of them are kids, like me and Matthew. There's a lot of kids. Amy's a kid. They wear like rags and yellow stars, and Amy is very sad because he hurt her, and she just wants help.
Thank you. I'm sure Humphrey appreciates that.
And she takes the pin and just kind of squeezes it up to her.
Yeah. Hey, can we maybe have like a team meeting? or something?
Lisa seems very upset to be hearing this news. You get the distinct impression she has never heard Marissa talk about stuff like this before, and she says, "I think that would be best. I think maybe it's time for me to get Marissa to sleep."
Okay, we'll go get the cameras and start getting that all set up.
Yeah. I hate to ask. I just want to make sure that I can get her down. Could one of you just go tell Matthew that it's time for him to get into bed and he needs to brush his teeth?
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
I can't
I was
leave
gonna
her
go
alone.
take a picture in his room anyway.
All right.
Okay, just please just look out for them
Of course we will.
at night. And if you need me for anything, just come wake me up. There's food in the fridge. You can use the kids' bathroom if you need to during the night. We're just gonna try and get some rest.
Of course. Yes, very good. We'll be here if you need anything from us as well. If you hear anything, you see anything, you please come out and tell us.
Okay.
We're here for you.
All right. Well, I'll go get her ready for bed. If you need to set up the camera, just
Yes,
knock.
I'll start doing that
All right.
right now.
And she takes Marissa off into the master bedroom, and Marissa is just holding that whale pin the whole time as they walk back. And she kind of looks back over her shoulder shyly at all of you, and then grabs onto her mom's leg, and her mom closes the door behind her.
Okay, what the hell? I did not sign up for this shit.
That was really strange.
Okay,
Right.
I got into this because a water fountain was running in the guy's locker room, okay? And then I find out that it was just the pipes. And this next 6 times that we investigated this, the whole pipe system was wrong. I didn't know that there was actually like shit like this, that kids were going to be talking about dark men that were going to be taking them.
Well, I didn't know it was going to be like that either, but I told you weird things are happening, and maybe this will be the proof.
I had to walk out of The Exorcist. I could not stand it.
All
Good
right.
thing to tell us at this point, Mike.
Well, you're here now.
Yeah.
I think we're in it. So,
We need you, Mike.
yeah, we need you. You're like all tough and strong. You play football. I've seen you.
I know I look tough, but this stuff is really freaking me out, okay?
All right. Well, let's just try and figure out what's going on.
It's all right.
Opens
we
up
got-
another port crackling.
What did
Okay.
what did?
So real quick, I want to say thank you to PDX Mount Hood for the bits, and also
Thank
to
you for
Rocky
the
Mountain
bits.
Games for the bits.
Thank you guys so much.
Also, I would like to award a Benny, because I'm trying to get in the habit of it, to Kip for choice use of a Humphrey the Whale pin,
Aw, thank you.
and to Mike for taking solace in a bag of pork cracklings.
Humphrey the Whale is a real whale that was lost in San Francisco harbor.
What's so sad?
Look that up at your local library.
Your local library.
Mike.
Like those exist.
Hey, Mike. It's gonna be okay, all right? We're all here together. We've got each other's backs.
Yes, I'm sure there's very logical explanations to everything. They've gotten no sleep, it sounds like.
Wait,
And
but PK, what did that article say? Because some of the things that little girl said kind of sounded like Nazi kind of stuff, like
Yeah.
Holocaust stuff,
And
right?
Nazis? What the hell? We're not Indiana Jones.
I agree, it did sound like that, but this was something that happened just across the street. She might have known this
Right
man-
next door, actually.
Right next door, and this...
A little girl would know all that kind of information?
Well, when the police come and the neighbors start talking, I'm sure she has friends that maybe said something, and maybe she's seen a news story, but it could be related, it could not be. It's something we have to take with a grain of salt.
But what about your weird photos that you took? I mean,
That could just be the camera at
you
this
don't
point.
think that's proof already? I mean, this sounds real legit. I mean, kind of like what he was saying.
I want to check the photo that is labeled Marissa's room 2.
The second photo you took of Marissa's room, it has still not developed. Or it developed wrong. All that is showing is just a completely white space.
All right, look, I know this is strange, but I told Mrs. Gray that I would put Matthew to bed, so I'll be back in just a minute. And before I go, I turn and take a picture of the living room, but with the door to Marissa's room open,
Okay.
so that I could just like see into it there, and then just label that Marissa's room outside,
Okay.
and then head to Matthew's room. You guys can keep talking.
Okay, so he's walking to Matthew's room. We'll catch up with Kip here in a second. What are you guys going to do?
Okay, well, I have some ideas. We need to set up these cameras as soon as we can. What time is it?
At this point, it's a little after 8 o'clock. So she toured you around. You guys had your conversation in the living room. It's getting on into evening now.
And like, what time is Cheers on most nights?
What time is Cheers on most nights? I don't know. You'd
27-inch
you'd have to
Cheers?
consult your local TV guide.
Which is right here.
7 sweet inches.
Thursdays, wasn't it?
We should set up these cameras as soon as we can and try to keep quiet. But I think if you're with me, and I need you to be with me on this because it's a bit, well, it might be a bit illegal, but
What?
Might
But I can't do
PK.
anything illegal.
well, I not illegal, but it might seem strange to everybody else, but we should go and maybe see this neighbor's house.
Oh.
I'm not saying go inside, but maybe just if there's anything outside, or if the doors, I mean...
So hold up. It's getting dark outside, and you want to go to a dead Nazi's house and see what's inside.
All right. I mean, he did kind of leave that
I'm
out.
curious.
All right.
Curious.
Well, we gotta help
I'm
this.
very curious.
We gotta help this family. So maybe we should start here. Let's get everything set up and see
Yes.
what we find.
Yes.
And then maybe we should go over there because you're probably right. We should probably see, but I don't know about going inside. I mean,
Well,
Mike just said it. I don't want to go in a dead Nazi's house.
well, maybe we can just take the camera and take some photos
All right,
inside.
yeah.
Well, the flash will illuminate
I can
something.
do that if you want me to. I can
That
take.
would be wonderful.
All
That'd be
right,
so
yeah.
helpful.
Okay, so the plan is you guys are going to set up cameras. You're sending Debbie outside alone to take pictures through the windows of the dead Nazi's house.
I ain't going over there.
And Kip is going to talk to Matthew in his bedroom.
Yes.
Okay, so before we catch up to those two, which rooms are you guys setting up cameras in? If you just want to draw a circle on the floor plan here and each one of the rooms, like in the general area that you might be setting up the cameras.
One.
Can we set up vision cones?
You don't have to worry about that so much.
But I want to.
Yeah, you can set up vision cones if you want. It's very important to me that you set up vision cones. I've changed my mind on the vision cones. I really want you to make sure that we know.
Well, then I need to know the arc of like how big vision cone could
Wide
be.
angle lens.
Pretty,
That's the whole
it's pretty coney. These are state-of-the-art 1988 video
All right.
The
camcorders.
cones were so big.
Yeah, like what? Like a 100-degree arc or so?
Yeah, we'll say that. All right, so you are heading into Matthew's room.
Yeah.
Pew pew. All right, yeah. Now I'm gonna use the Force, and I'm gonna save all the Ewoks from you.
Hey, Matthews,
Oh, hi.
Death Star blown up yet?
Oh yeah, the Death Star's been blown up for a long time.
Yeah, but they rebuilt it.
Yeah, but then it got blown up again.
You're right.
Yeah.
You know those movies.
Yeah, I like Star Wars. And walking into his room, you can see that's definitely the case. He has Star Wars sheets. His curtains are Star Wars curtains. You can see outside he's got a view of the next door neighbor's house. He's got Star Wars action figures all over his room and all over his floor too. He is currently playing with Luke Skywalker and what looks like that one guy that everyone was thinking was going to be really cool, but then just fell into that hole and got eaten when a blind guy shot him.
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett, that's the one.
I only saw the movies once in theaters, so I'm kind of going off of what I remember there. I wasn't as into it.
Maybe it's Darth Vader. You're not sure. It's a guy with a helmet.
Yeah.
These aren't going to be important in the future.
Yeah.
No.
Do you like Star Wars?
Oh yeah.
You want to play?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Who do you want to be? I have to be Luke Skywalker, but you can be this bad guy, or you could be this bad guy.
Can I be a good guy?
I'm already the good guy.
You're right.
So we really need a bad guy because someone's got to capture all the Ewoks so that Luke Skywalker can save them.
Yeah, I mean, okay. All right.
Okay.
I'll be this bad guy.
Don't be that bad guy. Be this bad guy. I think you should be this bad guy instead.
Okay.
That's the good bad guy.
Is what does he hand me?
Grand Moff Tarkin.
I do not remember the name of this character.
You do not.
It's an old man.
He just looks like a weird skeletal old man
Yeah.
that he's handed you. He's real scary.
Oh yeah. No, he's definitely real scary.
Yeah.
Hey, before we play a bit,
Yeah.
your room is so cool.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's pretty cool. I got a lot of Star Wars stuff that my dad got me because I like Star Wars.
Yeah. Who
So,
doesn't?
Yeah.
Hey, do you mind if I take a picture of all your cool Star Wars stuff?
Oh yeah. Do you want me to be in the picture?
Yeah,
of your cool Star Wars
absolutely.
stuff? Okay. Where do you want to do a picture?
Well, okay. I'll stand back here so I can see your whole room.
Okay, and I can stand on the bed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna stand on the bed.
That's so creepy.
And he goes over and he stands on the bed and like puts his hands up like, okay, all right, I'm ready.
All right, now say, "May the Force be with you."
May the Force be with you.
Click.
Oh, the picture comes out.
I take it out and I label it Matthew's room.
Oh, can I see? Can I see? Can I see?
Well, it takes a little while to develop.
Oh, okay. All right.
See, it starts out just totally black.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
totally white, right?
Totally white, I believe.
Starts out white and
Starts
then
out white and then
Fades
the
in.
color fades in.
Yeah.
color fades in.
We remember. We were all there. All right. Now, so we can play Star Wars and then we can look at the picture once the picture happens.
All right, but we can't play Star Wars too long. You've got to get some sleep.
Oh,
Your mom told me it was time for you to go to bed.
yeah, it's probably bedtime. But we can play a little Star Wars.
Just a little bit of Star Wars.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, all right. I'm Luke Skywalker, and he starts setting up the scene. Are you trying to get anything else from him, or do you just want to play Star Wars with him until the picture develops?
I'm going to try and get a little bit from him, but like through trying to play with Star Wars.
Okay.
You know, I would say
Ooh,
like
how child psychologist of you.
so what I want to try and do is say, like, from what I know, that there's like this strange tall dark figure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be, I don't know, I don't want to be too on the nose about it, but I just want to be like, all right, so this guy is real scary.
Yeah, he's real scary.
So what would you say, like, what can he make? Like, can he make things appear?
Are you holding Tarkin still?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Grandma Tarkin. He's real scary. He just has this like scary face.
Yeah. Hey, you know who else is really scary?
Who?
Remember Darth Vader?
Oh yeah, Darth Vader's real scary, but he's also really cool.
Man, it would be scary to see something like Darth Vader in real life, right?
I think it would be cool.
Yeah?
Yeah, it'd be cool because he's got a big lightsaber and he like could cut through everything with it, and we could go to space on his spaceship.
Hey, so if you had the Force
Yeah,
and it could protect you from anything,
yeah.
when would you use it?
Well, to protect me from anything?
Yeah, anything at all.
Oh, I use it at night,
Yeah.
because that's when all the scary stuff happens at night in the dark.
Yeah, but I bet the Force could stop that, right?
Oh yeah, the Force can stop anything. The Force is like super strong.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. How would the Force be able to stop that, right?
Oh, because you could push it away, or you can shoot lightning out of your hands to make it go away, and make them stop talking when you're trying to sleep.
and just like blow them up.
They would be like saying stuff like who even knows what.
Yeah.
What would they say? Let's pretend you're them, and I'll be the good guy for just a little bit.
I'm who? Who am I?
You're the things that won't stop talking at night, and I'll be Luke Skywalker just for a minute.
I'm Luke Skywalker.
Okay, you know what? We can both be Luke Skywalker, but let's.
You could be Chewbacca.
Okay, I'll be Chewbacca.
Kip's the worst police interrogator ever.
But let's say that the thing comes in.
Okay.
I don't know what it says, so you're gonna have to tell me what it says, so that we can beat it. Cause you got a lightsaber, all I've got's a blaster.
Maybe we should play Star Wars with the Ewoks, and you can be Grandma Tarkin, and
Grandma Tarkin.
and then we can save them. I think that's a better game, probably. That's a better game. We can do that until we go to sleep.
Okay.
If you want more, you're gonna have to persuade him a little bit here.
I will.
Here's $20.
I will.
Or you could just make a persuade.
I'm going to
roll.
make a persuade roll. To try and continue in this way to
Okay.
kind of push things towards him telling me more. I got a 5.
A 5. That
Yeah.
is a success. Would you like to keep that? Or would you like to go double or nothing?
You know
and
what?
maybe get that critical failure?
Yeah, I was
or
gonna say-
maybe not.
I'm gonna try and re-roll it.
Double or nothing, he's going.
Oh,
ace on the D8.
8. All right, so I got a 8 and a 6, so that's a 14.
That's a 14. That's a success with 2 raises. Okay. So what are you asking him?
So, okay, let's sing this. Let's say you can play Luke and the Ewoks,
Okay.
and I'll play Grandma Tarkin
Okay.
and the dark figure. Now I don't know what to say. Is these I just don't know them like you do. So what do I come in to say before you beat me up with the Force?
Well, sometimes there's bad ones like Grandma Tarkin and the dark one, and some of them they can be angry and they say things like they want to hurt people or they want to
Hey,
hurt
Matthew,
us. Well, it's okay. It's okay.
you don't
though.
need to be worried because you've got the Force.
Right, and also Rabbi won't let them. Rabbi won't let them.
Who's Rabbi?
He won't let them. He's really nice, and he said that it's okay, because he's gonna protect me. But then sometimes they're just scared. Like Amy's always scared because she wants to go. So sometimes she's talking about that, and Rabbi says it's okay. And one time my bed shook at night. But it's okay. Some of them are mean, but Amy and the Rabbi, they're cool. I don't mind them at all. They're okay. So yeah, that's what I'd be like that. They'd be like that, and then I would use Force Lightning and blow them up. And then Luke Skywalker, I use his lightsaber, and I take Darth Vader's lightsaber from him. I'd have two lightsabers. I have the blue one and the red one, and and he gets up on the bed and just starts jumping around and spinning.
Huh.
Did the picture happen?
I want to discreetly look at the picture first myself.
Okay, so you look at the picture and you see it has developed. And it's Matthew on the bed in his pose, and there are all of these, like, floating things around
Like
Matthew.
other lights?
Yes. There appears to be one that is directly over his shoulder, like right by his head. Just looks like these little silvery balls of light in the pictures. Did it work? Did it come out? Can I see?
You know what? I think the camera's broken.
Oh, it's broken?
Yeah, it didn't get good pictures.
Let me see.
Okay. I'll let him see the picture.
Oh no, that's me. And
Yeah.
There's the Rabbi.
There's the Rabbi right there?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess it's working fine after all.
Yeah.
Hey, you did a good job saving those Ewoks tonight.
Yeah.
So why don't you get some sleep?
All right, yeah, it's bedtime. I'm gonna get into my Star Wars pajamas, and then, do you know what? I have the best one. I have a Star Wars toothbrush.
Oh, wow.
I know.
I want to get one of those.
I know, you can't.
Oh,
No, they're special.
oh
So
man.
I'm gonna go brush my teeth, and then I'll get in bed, and good night.
So as he walks out, I'm gonna come in and it's like, we okay to set up a camera in here? Everything all right?
Oh yeah, he's just gonna set up a camera to. We're gonna make a movie. It'll be like Star Wars.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Just like Star Wars, all right? So let's do it up in that corner.
Meanwhile, Debbie has gone outside. Debbie is outside in the street. She's gonna go check out that dead Nazi's house. And you guys sent her with an instant camera, with a Polaroid.
Do we have more than one? Then yes.
You do. You
Okay,
do have.
yeah,
you
that-
have
okay.
2 of them.
Okay, great. Then yes.
All
We
right.
did that.
So you are walking out into the street, and now that it has gotten dark, all of the street lights do not appear to be working on this cul-de-sac.
Okay.
I'm really glad we sent the character with the anti-technology aura with the camera.
That's
Oh
why
my
I said
god!
it. I was making a joke.
Yes.
Now it's happening.
Well, the anti-technology aura really only comes into play when it's super clutch and important that it happens. It's a major
I can
hindrance.
drive my car.
But no one else can.
Yeah. So you walk out there, and there's only the one street light that's working, which kind of casts the rest of the cul-de-sac in this sort of very dark shadow.
I'm gonna reach in my pocket and just feel my mace.
Yep, you got your pepper spray in your pocket at all times. That's one of Mama's rules. Always keep your pepper spray on you. So you're standing out in the cul-de-sac, which feels relatively safe because the light from the street light is out here. And it touches the house of Lisa Gray and her kids. But the rest of the houses on the street are kind of shrouded in a growing darkness.
Okay.
So what are you trying to do here, Debbie?
Well, I'm gonna kind of go to the edge of the light. I'm gonna go, all right, Debbie. Now, you want to find proof? This seems like a really good way to do it. So you can do this. Buck up. It's just like anything else. And she's gonna pull out the camera and look at the house, and she's gonna walk towards it. But she's gonna get kind of to the front of it so she can take a picture of the house itself.
Okay.
So she'll do that first.
So you're walking into the darkened yard
And she's
of a
very,
dead
she's
Nazi's house.
quite nervous, but she's just trying to do it as quickly as possible before her nerves get the better of her.
Okay. So you're walking up, and it is definitely getting dark. You can tell this because as soon as you walk out of the ring of light that the street light is casting off, you feel suddenly like you're much further away from it than you could have sworn you were a moment ago. But you're dead set on this, so you walk up the little front walkway, and you're walking up. How close are you wanting to get to the house before you take this picture?
Well, I want to be able to get the whole house in the picture.
Okay, so not too
very-
close.
yeah.
So you get about as close as you're comfortable getting, feeling this growing sense of unease walking up this drive, and then you bring the camera up to your eyes and look through the lens to make sure you get most of the house in there, and you depress the button, and a bright flash goes off. Make a notice roll for me. That is 100% cocked.
Yeah.
Soup's cocked.
4.
4. In that bright flash from the camera, you see that there are some sort of flyers or posters or something posted on the front windows and the front door of the house. But as soon as the flash goes away, the house kind of recedes back into darkness, and you hear the of the photo coming out the end of your camera.
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of just pull out the photo and just kind of look at the house for a second.
It's very dark and imposing at the end of this cul-de-sac.
How
It almost looks like there's nothing behind the house. It just kind of is a dark abyss that continues on behind this house at the end of the cul-de-sac.
He's really guilting us about this, isn't he?
so
You feel so alone.
Well, I think that's probably because the flash just highlighted the house and couldn't bounce off the things in the back, so...
Sure.
Could be that.
Then you see Mike's truck drive off.
Gotcha.
My cube!
So yeah, she's kind of, before she gets any closer, she's kind of trying to go, okay, where are the windows? You know, what is it I'm trying to do so I can do it as fast as possible? So at this point, she wants to be able to see kind of what's, I mean, I imagine she has a flashlight too, so she wants to see what's on the, like the signs say?
So the house, much like the Gray's house, the front area is open, the front yard is, but the side gate is the side yard is closed off by a privacy fence, about a 7-foot tall wooden fence that shares a border with the Gray's house, and then goes around the house as well. These are the only 2 houses on the street that have privacy gates,
Are there
privacy
windows
fences.
at the front of the house though?
There are 2 windows on the front, and then the front door, and that's where you saw the notices posted.
And is the front door like wooden, or is it like has glass windows?
From what you saw, it appears to just be a pretty solid wooden door.
Okay. So she's standing there, and again, she's kind of like, all right, okay. And she's going to go for the windows first and take pictures. Like, she's going to take a picture, and then go to the other window and take a picture, and then kind of like go to the front door.
Okay. Don't mind me.
And then, so she does those 2 things.
Where's my ghost table at?
And then she wants to go to the front and just quickly try and kind of see what the posters say.
Okay, so you're going to very quickly, because you're getting a bit nervous, run up, take a picture inside of a window, just one, and then try and read what it says on the poster.
No. Take a picture in both windows.
In both windows.
One window, then the next, and then yeah.
Okay. Could you roll a d6 for me, please?
Oh boy.
Okay. 5.
5.
5 ghosts pop out.
Okay, so you take a deep breath. You pop on your flashlight.
Okay.
Standing here alone on the street, you have your camera, and you power walk with your head down, like right up to the window. You pull up the camera, you press the button, you see the flash go off, in kind of reflected in the glass, and for just a moment you get like a dusty look at the room beyond. You can't tell much of anything though. It comes up, and you very quickly walk over to the other window, hold the flashlight, press the button.
This damn thing what is it? Oh, all right, okay. I think it works.
It kind of grinds its gears for a little bit, but eventually it kind of spits out a photo.
I want to do what I'm doing well, so I'll take one more picture.
You rolled
now.
mostly normal for how the technology works. And then you got 2 photos, one of each window, and then you run over to the front door and just try and scan over the front of it. It appears to be some sort of legal posting, saying that the house is closed by order of some or such judge, pending criminal investigation. You just kind of like flip it down.
Take a picture of that.
Okay. All right, take a picture of that.
And then I'm gonna run back to the light.
And then you run back to the light.
But then once I get to the light, I'll look back and just kind of be like...
You know, it's funny. As you were running back to the light, as you turned your back on this house and started power walking / jogging / running back to the light, you almost felt for just a moment like something was chasing you. You had that sensation that you do sometimes in a dream, where you know you can't turn around and you can't stop, because if you do, some unnamed it will catch you. But as soon as you make it back into the light, you realize that's pretty foolish. And you shake it off and turn and see just a dark house at the end of the cul-de-sac.
I knew I could do it. All right. Go back into the Gray's house.
Okay. All right. So, when you head back inside, you see right away that these guys have been busy. They have set up a camera on top of the curio cabinet and the china cabinet, looking at the rest of the dining room.
Sure.
They have set up a cabinet on one corner in the kitchen
Not
here.
a cabinet, camera.
A camera on a
just
cabinet
move this here.
in the corner.
We put the camera on the ground and put the cabinet on top of it.
It's a very sturdy camera. They have set up a camera in Matthew's room.
Yes.
Looks like it's looking at the bed in his window over there. They've set up a camera in Marissa's room, looking at the bed and kind of off in that direction. And then they have set up a camera in Lisa's room, where she and Marissa are sleeping, sort of pointed at the closet and the bathroom area over there. And when you guys were doing that, Marissa just kind of was in bed with the covers pulled up over her face, and Lisa just sort of sat there in the bed with her and kind of just clucked and made soothing noises to her until you guys were finished setting up and bowed out of the room. So now you have all of your cameras set up.
So I imagine there's a bunch of cables going to this living room area and one monitor they would have to cycle through to see the cameras.
No, there's 2 monitors.
There's 2 monitors.
There's 2 monitors. So they are cycling through. You have some of the cameras fed into one, and some of the cameras fed into another,
Okay.
and they're cycling
Perfect.
through those.
Great.
So where is your command center set up? Where do you have the monitors set up?
I imagine we would probably set up in the like living room.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
pretty
Like on the
central.
floor here. Maybe there's like a coffee table or something we could.
There is a coffee table.
Great.
So
yes.
we're gonna be up all night, probably maybe sleeping in shifts, kind of thing, so we can keep an eye on the monitors.
Sure.
Is that the plan?
Well, we got
we-
the dew, so I mean we don't gotta sleep at all.
So what
true.
is the plan?
Do we have tapes and stuff?
You
for-
do have a couple sound recorders for trying to capture
Oh,
EVP.
we should put those in rooms.
You have the camera set up. You've got the monitor set up. You
Do
have
the
two-
cameras have in-camera sound?
No. I don't. They do if they were recording directly to a tape, but nothing that you can monitor from the monitors that you have. You would have to like play back the tapes in order. If my knowledge of the way our family camcorder used to work
You're
is
That
coming
makes
back.
sense. That makes sense.
So at this time, it is about after you guys got all set up, you went out and took your pictures of the dead Nazi house.
We probably put them all spread out. All the photos you've both taken.
Yeah, we've put them. They all have labels.
It took quite a while for you guys to set up all the cameras and run all the cables, so it's getting close. We'll say it's like 9:45-ish at this point.
That was not long.
So maybe what we should just do is we have the camera set up. We should all just kind of sit together and like observe for a while. Like let's just sit in the room. We could maybe put something on TV low and like have the monitors sitting there and like have someone who's always like watching the monitor and just kind of sit and like listen and wait for something to happen. What
Which
would
one?
be like late night TV now?
Why are you asking me?
I don't know.
What time is it? 10 o'clock?
Yeah,
What day of the
almost
week?
10. What day of the
Almost
week? Saturday.
Oh, no.
Yeah, nothing's
Nothing.
Saturday.
I think an American
Saturday.
flag waving on a pole. Maybe some infomercials.
Well, at 11:30 at 11 we could watch Saturday Night Live, right? It was on TV at this
no,
point.
it's off season right now. It's off. It's on break. Yeah.
All right. I was gonna have flavor and say we put something
Texas
quietly
might
onto the
be.
back, but instead we'll just not know.
What if we just put static on? That's
We
creepy.
could just watch Hardcastle and McCormick or Simon and Simon or something like
Yeah.
that.
Well, either way,
Those things.
Do they have a VCR?
I imagine we just like flip on the TV and watch something in the back. And
They do have
each
VCR.
have a Mountain Dew while we also have someone who's like cycling. It's your turn to like keep your eyes on the monitors the whole time.
Okay. So
should we retroactively say we put sound recorders in those rooms as well?
so
the,
you
the,
put
the tape recorders or whatever.
tape recorders in
Yes.
those rooms.
In the same rooms with the cameras, I guess.
Let's put tape recorders in rooms we don't have cameras in.
We only have 2 tape recorders.
Well, I think we should put a tape recorder in Marissa's room.
That
Right.
seems to be the one.
Right.
And what about the room they're actually sleeping in?
Could be that one or maybe Matthew's room.
Yeah. What did you get? What did you get? Anything from Matthew? Is he?
Oh, yeah. So Matthew, I take out the picture of Matthew's room.
Well, this one's fuzzy as well.
It's got the same thing, those lights, but Matthew saw them as people. He had names for them. Rabbi and Amy.
Wait,
Amy, just like,
Rabbi? Like Rabbi?
well,
Make a common knowledge roll for me there, Debbie.
I was like, I'm
on.
not gonna make that leap in character.
Come on though. If they already put Nazi together,
Yes, that's 100% true.
That's
but also,
my thought.
you are from Texas.
right?
And as someone who grew up in Texas, I never met a Jewish person until I lived outside of Texas.
That was not my experience growing up in Oklahoma.
Well, this is Texas.
I had a Jewish friend.
This is Texas.
Okay, but they're very similar.
How dare you?
I got a 2.
A 2? Yep, that's his friend Rabbi.
Rabbi, I've never
Wait,
heard.
like rabbit?
he said Rabbi. He said Rabbi protected Amy and the rest of them from the darkness. And then he went back into Star Wars mostly.
However, real quick, I will give you a Benny for being a player who puts things together and accepts my ruling that Debbie would not understand
Totally not
what she was
begrudgingly.
talking about.
I can do a performance. Would anyone like a performance?
Well, the same logic doesn't apply to him. It seems like he's sleeping mostly soundly, maybe.
Well, he said this thing came every night.
Thank you for the
Thank you
bits,
for the
Merry
Thanks, Merry
Mercenaries.
Mercenaries. I think did he specifically say what? He said the thing, like threatens him and says it's gonna hurt him.
He says sometimes there are bad things, but sometimes there are good things. Sometimes they're upset, and sometimes they're nice.
But,
Sometimes they're angry. He said.
He saw Amy too.
Yeah, they both mentioned Amy.
All right. Well,
I have to imagine this is related to. Now we would know enough about World War II. We've already put together that, like, it sounds like this, like the stars and stuff sounds.
That's actually a really good. So, if any of you have the academics skill,
Yeah.
so there is an academics trait in ETU which governs your ability to take your exams. But I'm looking for the academic skill.
Yes, I have the academic skill.
If any of you have the academic skill, I will give you a roll to make that to see if you remember any bit of that from like a history class that you took. If you don't have the academic skill, I'll let you do. I'll let you roll academics untrained if you want to see if you remember any of that from high school. But because I think it's you two that don't have the academic skill, it makes sense that you might not have been paying super close attention in class back then.
Thank you.
Rocky Mountain Games, thank you for the
I don't
tip.
think
Right.
So you guys can roll
I
academics
think it's
untrained
2
if you
to
want.
Any academics check. So
Well, what is this? It says -1 to academics using.
That's
is that just,
that's the academics. That's the
Using
ETU
tech.
academics.
Oh.
That's just using
stack.
tech though.
Yeah.
nice.
No.
So I got a
So
4.
does that mean I
Oh,
always
good.
have that?
Hold on. So 1 second. You got a 4.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 20.
A 20.
What?
Wow.
No. So your hindrance affects
look at
your
that.
academics
look at that.
statistic.
Got it.
Oh.
Got it.
Which, because you're bad at technology, you have a hard time in college when you have to use technology. So that gives you a harder time taking tests and passing your classes.
My
Okay.
favorite.
The academic skill would be down here in your skills, which you
Right.
do not have. So you can
I
make it
have
untrained.
Science.
I'll let you make it untrained.
Go to adventure with
I
Michael and I
aced
get
it.
into tonight.
I aced it.
Double A's.
I got a 12.
A 12, and that's with your -2?
Yeah.
You seem very, very pleased with that. So you got a 5, right, Kip?
Mm-hmm.
A 5, a 12, and a 20.
Yeah.
And you are working, you're almost at the end of this second bag of pork cracklings, Mike.
Yeah. I am literally doing kit right now. I'm not seeing anything, but I'm like, I am going to look and I will find whatever needs to be found around here.
Sooner you find something, sooner we can run away.
Yeah, exactly.
All of the things that Amy was describing, you feel like are in some way connected, you think,
Yeah.
to this information that the next door, or not Amy, Marissa, that the next door neighbor was proven to be a Nazi of some kind. You remember the specific detail that Marissa was talking about with the yellow stars. You remember that that was something that the Nazis would do to mark Jewish people. You, of course, recognize all of that information. In addition, you have a sneaking suspicion that Matthew might be mispronouncing one of the words that he was talking to Kip about in light of all of this information.
It's Robbie.
I was thinking maybe you had read the word before and like initially mispronounced it.
Oh, I used to say it that way.
Yeah.
Could be that. It's up to you.
in learning English, so
Well, making that connection with the very specific information here that said their neighbor, a Dr. Heimglimmer, worked with this unit of Gestapo, which specialized in the occult. And several artifacts were found inside the house. These include a large golden Star of David, dating back to the 12th century AD, and organ urns, canopic jars, believed to have originated from ancient Egypt, which, I mean, the connection to the mummification is there as well.
What? So he was part of a cult?
It seems that his regiment was studying some sort of occult thing, but it could just be a coincidence, but it is interesting nonetheless. However, the connection to Rabbi is probably that he's saying rabbi, which
Rabbi.
is a member of the Jewish faith.
Oh.
so this all definitely sounds connected to the house next door.
Very much so. But like I said, it could just be them seeing and hearing stories about this and getting spooked at night.
What did the photos that I took show?
Interestingly, none of the photos that you took seem to have turned out all that well. There appears, maybe because it was so dark over there, to just be this sort of like darkness that sort of obscures a lot of the photos. You can see that you took a picture of a window, you can see the flash reflected in the window, but there's all of this like just sort of floating darkness all over the photo that sort of makes it look like it didn't develop in all the right places. The other picture of the window looks like that. So does the picture of the poster on the front door. So does the picture of the house that you took.
I'm pretty sure I did this right, so I don't think I messed it up.
I mean, it could be that both of the cameras are broken. He could have just gotten a bad batch or
Both
something.
of the cameras?
No, I don't think this is a coincidence anymore. I think we've got to go to that house.
We can't just break into somebody's home. Especially with you said there was notices.
We've got to break into the home.
But I think we need to take care of what's going on in here first. I know they might be connected from what you're saying, but I mean, we gotta stay and watch and see if we see anything.
We said we would do a job, and we're here to...
Maybe we could go in there during the day.
That's a much better idea.
With
Maybe
some
we could get some sort of, permission from the city and do this in a way that is a little more official and,
The
doesn't...
city's never going to listen to us and give us permission.
They
Guys,
might.
guys, do I need to reiterate? Dead Nazi house.
I agree.
There is also that.
But
Mike.
I do want to figure this out.
I can tell you're scared. Do you like whales?
I do, in fact, like whales.
Here.
I've been following the Humphrey story for quite a while now.
I give you a Humphrey pen.
This is the trickiest.
Here,
Sort of control
just
over
take a
these things.
Humphrey pen.
Don't listen to him.
So I'm hearing a couple things here. I'm hearing we should go check out the dead Nazi house. I'm hearing absolutely not dead Nazi house. Go back, maybe do the job we were sent here to do. Maybe the cameras are broken.
Right.
So some of those things can't be acted on, but you can try and see if the cameras are broken right now, if you want to check that out.
Sure.
That's absolutely something you guys could rule out. So looking at the pictures that you've taken so far, you've got pictures in the living room with all these like just balls of light in the air. Same
I can
thing.
list every picture we have.
Same thing from the bedroom. Same thing from Matthew's room. No picture of Marissa's room has turned out. However, you did take that picture of outside of Marissa's room.
Yeah, so how has that turned out?
There is kind of this, it looks like half of the photo didn't develop. Half of the photo is kind of white, and then you can see a bit of the living room where it, like, from where you took the picture was just outside of Marissa's room.
Something is definitely going on in Marissa's room.
It's very strange, but it also looks like not a single photo we've taken has come out clear.
Well, you've read all of Professor Stance's books. Is this something he's come upon before?
Multiple times he's talked about taking photos of balls of illuminated light.
But
Yeah.
the way he was talking,
ABEs.
the way he was talking about it though was like there might be one, and this seems to be like every single picture we take has a bunch in there. And that
You're correct, but that's why I'm assuming the camera might be not working. No single photo has come out like it should.
right?
All right. Here's this camera. Look it over, PK. If you see anything that seems wrong, maybe we can fix it.
All right.
I think we need to go search Marissa's room, see if there's anything strange going on in there.
All right, I'll do this. Do you want to keep an eye on the monitor? Someone needs to be watching them.
Yeah, sure.
Or you can look
No.
at the cam.
No, that's fine. I'll look at the monitor.
I'm right here. If you need me,
Nope. Yep.
that's an empty cup.
I know. I'm just getting the little salt bits that.
You gotta get
Correct.
those salt bits.
Well, what sort of thing we think we're gonna find? I mean, outside of something in the cameras. I mean, just searching a room, what we're gonna find in there?
I mean,
they say there's something going on. Their stories are consistent.
Right, but I'm just saying, what do ghosts leave around? I mean, if we think it's ghosts, beyond sound and
they could leave a message somehow. I mean, they have in books before.
Speaking of sound, did you guys actually set up those sound recorders?
Yes.
Yes.
We set up a sound
Retroactively.
recorder.
Did you? You didn't set them up retroactively,
Did we
right?
not?
Oh,
I did.
oh, you did. Oh, right. You did set up those sound recorders.
Ah!
Remind me again, Mike, what 2 rooms you set up those sound recorders in?
Set one up in Marissa's room,
Okay.
and we set one up in.
So
It's your call at this point.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna
I'll go
say
whatever you say.
sound recorder. And what's the other room you said?
In Matthew's room,
And in Matthew's room.
because he said that there were voices.
Okay.
Ooh, right. Nice.
So a sound record. So you guys are gonna have to change the tapes on those fairly frequently.
Okay.
Like
They're the mini tapes.
yes, they are the mini tapes. So probably about every hour you're gonna have to
are-
change those.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Clutch use of that
Yeah,
Benny.
Nice. Nice.
Nice job.
I dig it. Give him Benny for that.
No.
All
right.
I was gonna roll electronics
Electronics.
for the camera.
for the
Or should I
camera.
roll something else.
Actually, since you guys did set up those tape recorders, and you are the one who has the electronic skill, I don't believe anyone else has any affinity with electronics. I know for a fact Debbie does not.
I work in.
Does anyone else have the electronic skill?
No.
No.
All right.
Despite working in the computer lab.
Yeah, I mean, you mostly just keep an eye on things. No one uses the computer lab that much yet because they're not sure what it's for.
We don't have many computers.
There's
either.
not a lot. There's like 3.
You just play Oregon Trail all day.
You know how
Yes.
the keyboard works, just not how the computer works.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys looked at Zork?
Oh, yeah.
So I actually
I
need an
love
electronics roll from you for
Yeah.
setting up the voice
Oh,
recorders.
okay, great. The D6 in that. Ooh, that's
Dang,
Ooh,
man.
ace on
An
the
ace
wild
sitting up in
die.
there. Ooh,
Double
ace.
ace on the wild
This-
die.
This
Triple ace!
So this dice is loaded, apparently.
Triple
Yeah.
ace on the wild die. 4 times. 4 times. Keep going with your loaded die there, PK.
Okay, that's a
Wow.
5.
Okay.
So 29, a 29 on your electronics roll to set up some voice recorders.
PK knows machines, all right?
So
Loaded.
I think it's a step further than PK knowing machines. I think PK does machines.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Is machines?
is machine.
No, I think that many aces on an electronics thing. I was just gonna say, so you're making sure you're setting it up where there's no interference from anywhere in the environment, which you absolutely did.
I think I've invented Wi-Fi.
Well done, well done. So you know for sure if there is any electronic voice phenomenon that you're gonna catch in these rooms, those sound recorders are choicely positioned for it.
Not on my watch. Okay, cool. Do you want to make another one for the cameras that I'm inspecting, or to see if it's broken?
For the instant cameras.
For the Polaroids.
Yeah, you can make an electronics check to see if it's broken.
Am I allowed to use this red die anymore?
Yeah, you can use it.
Am I still allowed to
It
use
aced again.
Oh my god.
Wow, okay, yeah, keep going. This die is great.
I mean,
Okay, it's just a 11.
That's just an 11. Okay, so you take a look at the camera. You check the lens.
I don't know about that.
You kind of you check the place where you're loading the film in
Yeah,
and where it's
yeah.
coming out. Everything appears to be in fine working order.
All right, this camera seems to be fine, so I don't. Maybe it could be a bad batch of film. I don't
Maybe
know.
it's a user error.
Yeah, are you? No, I mean, I don't. It's this very simple thing to press a button and take a photo. I
Right,
don't.
but Debbie has had some issue.
but
What
both
issue?
the cameras were being weird. It wasn't just the one I used.
But what's
Yeah,
what,
but you were in the room when he was taking
What-
the
Yeah, but
picture.
I didn't even touch it.
what issue? What's he talking
I don't
about?
have any issues. It's just sometimes electronics don't seem to like me.
Well, that's
But
just a superstition or something. I mean, it doesn't seem like anything that would.
well, we're right. That's what I'm saying. I don't think I had anything to do with
Look,
it.
but Matthew said it was working perfectly. I showed him the picture and I said it looked like it didn't work. And he looked at the photo and said, "Oh no, it's fine. But they're all here."
All right. Well, let's save these photos and see what the professor says.
So one quick point. You guys have cameras set up in a lot of these rooms and sound recorders in some of them. There are rooms that you do not have any sort of equipment set up in.
Correct.
So it occurs to you that from time to time, since there didn't seem to be any sort of centralized location for the activity,
We should probably check those rooms out.
you might, want to check those out and just make sure nothing weird is
Well,
happening.
I'm going to use this die from now on, which is
No, you're not.
which is a loaded die.
No, you're not going to use the loaded die.
No, I am. Oh, what do you know? I keep rolling 6s.
All right.
Like-
So
Oh, it rolled a 3, which means that it doesn't roll as well as Garab's die.
The loaded die doesn't roll as well as Garage die.
do with that what you will. So for right now, you're going to watch the monitors.
Yeah.
Right, Kip?
Yeah. He's Kip.
Sorry, Mike. I just met you guys. You're gonna watch
This
the
is
monitors,
crazy,
Mike. What are you gonna do?
I want to search Marissa's room.
Marissa's room. What are you doing?
I will search this room. Is the office?
That's the office.
I will search the office.
And what are you doing, Debbie? Are you gonna go with one of them? Are you gonna stay here with Mike and watch the monitors, or are you gonna search somewhere else?
I mean, I guess I'll stay here. Well, I don't know what we're searching for. What are we searching for?
Not necessarily.
we don't
You don't know. You're
Okay.
just trying. There are certain rooms that you don't have a technological presence set up in, and so you're just kind of like just walking around trying to see. You're here all night.
Right. The night is young. I'll stay with Mike.
Okay.
Before we go and search, I just want to say, tell them, like, while you're looking around, feel free to try to communicate with anything you feel a presence of, because in Professor Stance's books, he says that is some way to call them forth, and they might communicate with what they want from.
Like,
Yeah.
just talk at them, or do we need like a Ouija board?
No, nothing like that. Just speak, and if you feel a presence, and maybe they'll respond.
Can I see that article, PK?
Oh yes, absolutely.
What does feel a presence? I mean, how do we know?
Have you ever had like some sort of
So
Dream.
let's get an academics roll from you, PK, to see how much you remember here.
So he's obviously read the books, but how much would the rest of us know? Like, how long have we been doing this?
Not long at all.
Okay, so we don't really know anything.
No, if you did,
Okay.
you would have ranks in the occult skill.
We've done
okay.
6 sinks that were overflowing.
Mostly it's been
missions.
plumbing-related things that you guys have investigated
Yeah,
so
well,
far.
I'm real tired of that because I keep getting my shoes wet.
Well, that's
It's
something to think about. Is maybe
sloshy.
you should look at the pipes under the sink and just see maybe this could be
Yeah,
population
sure.
as well.
Academics -2, please.
Doesn't seem like a perhaps thing.
Hey, that's a 2.
Yeah,
Different
the other
ace.
one is.
Different ace. Yeah. So roll your other aced die that is not the loaded die.
That's an 8.
-2 is a 6.
Yeah.
All right. So you remember that one surefire thing that is another constant in all of Professor Stance's books is cold spots. Anytime
Okay.
something gets really cold or you feel a drastic reduction in atmospheric temperature,
Mhm.
that's typically an indication of paranormal presence.
Can I write on this? Do you mind?
Please do. It's your newspaper article.
Wow.
All right. So you're watching the monitors. You're staying here with Mike. You are going to check out Marissa's room, and you're going to check out the office. So we'll
Yes.
start with you, PK.
Okay.
So you walk into the office.
Got a flashlight. I wish I got a flashlight. Next time.
Oh, like actually at the
I
table? I was
was
going to say you
thinking
did
about
buy
it.
flashlights.
Yeah.
We can blind chat.
So you walk into the office, and it looks a bit different now that the house is silent and dark. There is just kind of this little bit of light coming in through the window that looks out into the cul-de-sac. But other than that tiny bit of illumination in your flashlight, everything's very dark. You didn't notice the street being so dark before. But as you're looking around, give me a notice roll at a -2, please.
Thanks for the raid.
Thanks for the raid, Dirt 99.
Nice.
Or Dirty 99.
Dirty 99.
You aced again.
But it's on the blue one.
It's a different die. These magic dice that you have.
Something got really cold in here.
It was a 10 minus.
2.
So 8.
So an 8. So as you're in here just kind of looking around for it, you're not honestly sure what you're looking around. You just kind of pass your light over the books on the shelves. And you notice, for some reason, maybe it's the glint of filigree on the spine, one book just kind of strikes you as your light passes over it. It just sparks a little bit.
Okay.
And you walk over, and you see that it appears to be a historical book on the Holocaust.
Okay. I will pull that out
Okay.
and just take a look at it. I'll open it up and see if there's any like.
That other Jon Stewart.
Hey,
Larissa.
Thank you very much.
I want to see just opening up to the cover and read the title and see if there's any like inscription on the inside.
Okay.
Who it's from or anything.
It appears to be a historical treatise on the atrocities of the Nazi rule. Yeah, thank you for the
Thank you.
resub.
Hello.
And you just kind of open it up and flip through it. You see there's a bunch of pictures in this book from various different of the concentration camps and the Nazi work sites that they found. You do see the word Bergenwalden, which reminds you, since you read the article first, you
Right.
believe that was mentioned in the article as a place that
I circled
the
it.
doctor next door had worked.
Okay.
And you see that there are some pictures of human test subjects, as what they are referred to. A lot of these pictures are of corpses. They're of people that were found once the Allies came in and kind of drove the Nazis out of these areas. But there are a couple of photos of what look like living people there.
Okay.
And you're flipping through, and you notice a lot of them are dressed in torn rags, and a few of them do have, even though the photos are black and white, yellow stars on their clothes. One picture in particular just kind of strikes your attention. It's a young girl. She looks maybe to be around 11 or 12, and she's just kind of staring into the camera. And there's just so much heaviness and world weariness in the eyes of this young girl. And as you're looking at that, you feel like you see her eyes move. And instead of looking at the camera lens, you see her irises just move in their sockets until it looks like she's making direct eye contact with you. And then her mouth opens, and she appears to be mouthing something to you. It looks like... I need a spirit roll at a -4 from you, please.
Is that is this guts roll? What is this?
Nope, spirit roll.
I'm okay with spirit.
Yeah,
Aced on one of the dice.
Great.
Go ahead and roll it. Double ace.
Okay, I'll just stop using these die. I've been using these for
17 -2 is a 15.
every
Success
game.
with 2 raises.
I use this for D&D every week.
So
Oh wow, you've been doing pretty well at D&D.
you snap back at this photo just suddenly bursting into sort of slow motion life, and you pull the light away for just a moment in surprise, and then you look back at it, and it's just a frozen photo. But as you're standing there looking at it, you see light from outside of the window just kind of wash over the book in your hands. And you look out and see what looks like some sort of blue Chevy car just out in the cul-de-sac that is pulling in, and it just seems to be idling in front of the house next door. And for just a moment, the dome light goes on in the car, and you can see someone inside seems to be looking for something. It looks like maybe a female silhouette. And then the light snaps off, and the car idles there for a little bit longer, and then slowly drives around the cul-de-sac, the headlights just kind of hitting you in the office as they pass, and then the car turns and drives down the street.
That was strange. I'll put the book back. Well, no, actually, I'll take the book and I want to bring it to show them, just to say, like, maybe the kids looked at this and got an idea.
Okay, so you're bringing the book back
Yeah.
to Mike and Debbie,
Yes.
who are at the control center. But meanwhile, we've got Kip, who's investigating Marissa's room.
Yeah.
So you walk into Marissa's room, and it is very clean. Everything is tidy, everything's in its place. It looks like this room hasn't been used in a while, which you know is the case because it seems like Marissa has been sleeping with Lisa for almost 2 months now. There's a bunch of dolls on top of her dresser. There's photos on the wall of family members. There's a bunch of pictures of clowns on the wall. This was back before we knew clowns were terrifying and thought that creepy pictures of clowns were a good thing to hang up on children's walls.
Boy, did we learn.
Dread Sand, thank you very much
Thanks
for the sub. Then there's 2 windows in the room. One faces east towards the backyard of the house next door, and the other one looks over the backyard of this house. She's got a closet in one corner of the room, but other than that, everything seems pretty normal, just like a immaculately preserved and very clean little girl's room.
All right, I want to search the closet
Okay,
to see if there's anything out of place.
so you open up the closet door. It's
What time of year is this, by the way?
So you guys haven't been freshmen for very long, so we're like in late fall.
Okay.
And maybe like heading into the end of October at this point.
All right.
Shit, I got a game.
Yeah, well, it's Saturday night.
Well, I noticed
Games are on Friday night.
Okay.
it specifically says that Mans handed out the most candy during Halloween.
Yes,
I was wondering if this is post-Halloween.
it is post-Halloween. You also get the impression that maybe Lisa was quoted in that article because that is specifically the thing that she told you guys.
Yes.
You open up the closet. It's a walk-in closet, and there's stuffed animals all kind of littering the ground in here. But apart from that, it just looks like little girls' clothes, stuffed animals everywhere. Nothing out of the ordinary.
I want to search like just through the pile of stuffed animals.
Okay,
See
give
if
me a
there's
notice
anything
roll.
that's like hidden under them, or, you know. I got a 3. I'm going to re-roll that with
With a Benny.
Benny.
All right.
I keep saying fate. I keep almost saying
Don't
fate.
say
here.
it.
That's cocked, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like. I got a 4.
Okay, a 4. So you start to just sort of like pick through the stuffed animals, the bears, the unicorns. At the bottom of one pile in the back, you find underneath a pile of stuffed animals what looks like a very nice china teacup.
Huh. I'll pick it up, take it out, kind of turn it over in my hand, and I mean, I imagine I turned the lights on in the room when I came in, but I'll still just like, because I'm in the closet and kind of digging around things, kind of like look,
Sure.
examine it. Anything seem strange about it?
Just looks like a china teacup. It seems a little bit nice to be in a little girl's closet.
All right, I'll take it and like bring it back to the kitchen, and maybe ask her about it later.
Okay.
Besides that, I think if there's nothing else that really like stands out in the room,
Nothing that's happening right now.
then I'll just like take a quick look over the dolls and stuff that were on the wall, that were on the shelf,
Mhm.
and then probably head back out into the
Couple Barbies, some other like stuffed cloth dolls that have like the cloth body and the plastic head. One that looks like it probably goes to the bathroom after you feed it a bottle. You know, baby Go Tinkles or whatever her name
Right.
was. Cabbage Patch
See this?
Kids,
You want?
all that kind of
Probably
stuff.
lots of cabbage.
Lots of Cabbage Patch Kids. Well, not
No
a whole
sign
lot.
of
They're rare.
remaining Halloween candy.
No.
Okay.
No, nothing. Again, it doesn't look like anyone's been in this room in a while.
Swastika on it. It's a Tootsie Roll.
Nazi Barbie.
No Nazi
roll.
Barbies,
It's a
no
Nazi
anything
roll.
like that.
Nazi Roll.
All right, so you're heading back out to the living room at around the same time that PK's there. You two have just been watching the monitors. Nothing weird has been happening there.
And I will tell them what I thought I saw in the book and turn to that page and be like, I mean, I know it sounds
Damn it,
strange.
PK.
and I
you're
was
just trying to.
I know. I was the first one to say that this is not what it seems, but I can't. This is what
You
I
think-
saw, and I
you think you
it
can
could. It was a dark room. It could have been my eyes. It could have been something else.
You
but,
think you could get it to happen again?
well, I know I didn't make anything happen, and you're free to look at the book
So
and see if
you're
anything.
showing them the book
Yeah.
with the picture?
Yeah.
All three of you are looking at it?
Yeah.
Give me a spirit roll at a -4.
Oh boy. I keep writing things in the back of my sheet and then not remembering
Got a
what my
1.
stats
You got a 1.
Ooh, you almost. Pretty
I almost pretty failed. I'll try to reroll.
Oh, you're gonna re-roll that? Okay.
Yeah.
I got 3. I'll re-roll.
You're also gonna
Do
re-roll.
you guys want to use
okay.
mine?
Aced it.
Oh wow. Okay, aced it.
Yeah. 5.
5.
Wait, a -3?
-4.
-4? Then I did not pass.
6.
You got a 6. All right. So Mike, you're looking at the photo, and PK is really getting in your head. All this talk about all these real ghosts that are not plumbing related, everyone's sort of starting to spook you out. You've already gone through 2 bags of pork cracklings, but you look at this photo, feeling a little bit of apprehension, and it's just a photo of a sad little girl.
PK. I like you, buddy. But that was a weird story to be saying about this. You know how I feel about it. Here's your book back.
And as you're saying that, you two distinctly see, separately, the eyes of this photo move and swivel and lock in on yours, and the mouth of this little girl saying,
I'm gonna.
and I need another spirit
Drop
roll
the
from you
book.
guys.
Any modifier?
Not on this one.
I got a 4.
I got a 3.
Okay,
I've only got 2, so I'm just gonna let it stand.
that's fine. All right, so you got a 4? Okay, so you drop the book in surprise, just as Mike's getting ready to close it and hand it back to PK. However, from you, Kip, I'm gonna need a D20 roll.
Oh boy.
It's getting real.
Almost don't even bring a D20.
I know.
It's a 3.
A 3. That just makes your blood just pump in your veins. You are freaking out. You are freaking out, but you were just like your fight and flight instinct is just kicked into high gear.
Did you see it? Did you see
She
it?
moved. She moved in the picture.
Yeah, I saw it too. Did you see it?
She looked at me
what the
and she
hell?
mouthed, "Help me."
Yeah.
Are you
She
all in on
mouthed,
this?
No,
"Help
no, no.
me." Right now, it just happened.
No, Mike. No, I saw it too. I saw it.
It's okay. Stay calm. It's all right. We're here for
Okay.
you.
Oh God.
Should we take a picture of the book, maybe, or maybe hold it up in front of a camera or something, so we can, so maybe the camera.
No, we can maybe take the book with us if she lets us. We'll ask her about it.
I saw it. It looked at me and it
I know.
spoke.
I know.
It's all right. It's all right. All right.
I was wearing my glasses. I
You'll
swear
do-
I was wearing
you'll
my
do- you'll
glasses.
be
I
all
definitely
right.
saw it.
That wasn't a thing yet.
You're getting a little overwhelmed, and you feel you just need to be by yourself and just kind of shake out some of this energy. You've got a major adrenaline surge going through you,
right.
and you haven't. It's been a while. You've been drinking. You guys have all been cracking into this cube of Mountain Dew. You need to use the restroom.
I gotta go to the bathroom. All right.
Okay.
She definitely spoke to me.
Yeah, just try to
She
keep
said,
quiet.
"Help me,
Try to
help
keep
me."
quiet. Try to keep calm down.
All right. I'm calm. I'm calm. I'm going to the bathroom.
Okay.
Okay. I'll be back.
Okay, so you walk into the kids' bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And these two sinks, one of them is closer to Matthew's room and the other one is closer to Marissa's room. And they both have a mirror on top of the sink, so you can look into one and see the back of your head in the other.
So the first thing I'll do is go into the bathroom and just take my glasses off and put them on the side of the
Great.
thing and just
Love it.
just like kind of wash my face and be like, all right, try and calm myself down
Okay,
in the water.
so you're splashing water on your face, and you're trying to calm yourself down, and you look up into the mirror, and you see something behind you. And it's a little fuzzy because your glasses are off. But it looks like there is something glowing very softly behind your head in the mirror. Do you put your glasses on?
I grab my glasses and kind of, without breaking eye contact with the thing that I'm seeing, glowing, I pull the glasses up and put them on.
Okay. You put your glasses on very slowly, not looking away from it, and as it comes back into focus, you see that there appears to be, just about 6 inches around, a softly glowing silvery orb, just floating, moving very slightly in the air right behind your head. And
PK,
as you watch,
Mike.
it just starts to pulse a calming blue color. Give me a notice roll, you guys, to see, or all three of you, to see if you heard him in the bathroom.
I
there.
also yelled Debbie. I just didn't want to interrupt you.
Did you yell? It sounded like you just kind of like.
Okay, it wasn't yelling. It was like, yeah. I
Okay.
said it at about the level I said.
Because I'm gonna say they're all still talking about whether or not anyone saw anything moving in the book. Crit fail.
On the same dice, by the way. So
There
so
you
you
go.
can re-roll that with a Benny.
Oh, wait.
Oh no, you
No,
can't.
you
no, I
can't.
can't.
The rules have changed.
What'd you get?
10.
A 10. What'd you get?
3. Yeah, 3.
A 3, and you got a critical failure.
Yep.
So you guys are just having this intense, hushed conversation about whether or not you saw anything.
Possibly be real.
And at one point, you just turn your head to the side and thinking, okay, I can't reason with Mike. And at that point, Mike turns to you and in a very loud stage whisper right into your left ear says whatever he's intently trying to say right now.
It's probably the pot.
And as he does that, whatever the specific acoustics are, you feel it almost like a pain in your ear.
Probably a little bit of pork crackling.
Might be a little bit of pork crackling that just flies out of your mouth and into PK's ear canal. And it stings. And you feel like your ear just ringing. You're gonna be at a -1 to hearing-based rolls for notice for the rest of this evening, PK. However, you think Kip in some form of distress in the bathroom.
Well, if they're arguing, I'm not gonna try to I'm just gonna go over to the door and go, Kip, did you say something?
As she knocks on the door and says that, the thing turns black and starts to just quiver a little bit in the air.
How do I? Does Do I get a vibe from that? Do I get any sort of, like...
What kind of vibe do you think?
Well, I got a calming vibe from the blue pulsing light.
What does black feel to you?
Black don't feel good.
Yeah, that's the one.
Maybe... Debbie,
Yeah.
Don't bang on the door anymore.
All right.
Go and get one of the cameras and come back.
Oh, okay.
I am not breaking eye contact with the thing.
And it's still there. And as you say that, and Debbie, are you walking away to get a camera?
Yeah.
You walk away to get a camera, it starts to return to a pulsing silver light. It just seems to be sort of hovering there in the mirror, almost like it's waiting for something.
Are you a person? Can you understand me?
It glows a soft green and then turns back to silver.
Okay. Are you Amy?
It glows red and then back to silver.
The rabbi?
Red, back to silver.
Are you Mr. Mans?
It turns black and starts to shake again in the air.
All right, okay. All right,
And
now,
at that point, Debbie, you've come back with the camera.
All right, kid.
Debbie?
I got a camera.
Do you say that through the door?
Yeah.
How does it react?
It turns silver and just shoots up into the ceiling and vanishes.
it's gone.
What's gone? Did you see something? I mean, you're asking me to bring a camera into the bathroom that you're using.
Kip realizes that he's been basically holding his breath the whole time. Like he's been talking, but like he has been breathing very lightly the entire time. Come in. I'm not doing anything.
All right. So I'll open the door.
Okay, and there is Kip looking a little bit white-faced and sweaty, just looking into the mirror, and he looks over at you when you open the door.
Where do you want me to put it?
It's gone.
What's gone?
There was a glowing light, and it communicated with me.
What? How?
It was blinking green when I asked it questions, and red when it was wrong, and
A loud crash comes from somewhere in the kitchen, and
Where was
all
that?
of you suddenly notice, you know with certainty, something is in the kitchen.
What was that?
And that is where we will end tonight.
Scared me.
So, thank you guys very much for joining us for this first episode of ETU Undeclared, where our novice paranormal investigators are having their first experience with the actual, real, tangible paranormal. What is going on in this house? What is going on with the children? What is going on with the dead Nazi's house next door? At this point, they do not know.
And I guess we'll never know. Let's go.
That's not true. Because we will be back next Monday night here at 8 p.m. Pacific time on twitch.tv/Saving Throw Show.
Thank you, Sage.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Sage
Sage
Saga,
Saga.
for the sub. Thank you to all of you for the sub. And we've just barely scratched the surface of the new mechanics in Savage Worlds Adventure Edition, which is what we are doing this show to show off. So if you want to see some more of that stuff in action, be sure and come back here next Monday night at 8 p.m. If you haven't checked out the Kickstarter at all yet, enter !Kickstarter in the chat and follow the link. There are so many awesome stretch goals that have been unlocked, so make sure that you back the Kickstarter if you're at all interested in Savage Worlds and continuing with the evolution of what is, in my opinion, a very, very cool role-playing game. Thank you guys who are backers, who unlocked this so that we could do this in conjunction with Pinnacle. Thank you guys very much. I'm a backer myself, so I also help them do that. Right.
We back.
And then thank you to those of you who are not backers of the Kickstarter, but are about to become backers of the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And thank you to any of you who were just curious and thought you'd tune in and see what all of this was about. We will be back next Monday for part 2 of ETU Undeclared as we continue this 1980s exploration of the gray home at night and find out what is in the kitchen. But before then, we have so many things coming up on Saving Throw this week. We have Disorganized Play tomorrow at 1 p.m., which is with DM Tom Lommel, the Dungeon Bastard himself, giving you a peek behind the curtain at the way he preps his Dungeons & Dragons games that he runs here on Wednesday nights on Saving Throw, which we have on Wednesday. Iron Keep Chronicles, that is our next show coming up.
Well, there's one thing before it.
There is one thing before that. On Wednesday, before Iron Keep Chronicles, Megan and I will be playing our Halloween edition of Megan and Jordan's Halloween Spookaganza Couples Therapy. We'll be playing spooky video games at 4 p.m. on that day. So tune in.
Halloween!
Check out our social calendar for other things that we have coming up. We have lots of fun stuff.
I want to say there's a bit of a scheduling change for those of you who are like, but I thought there was another thing happening. Unfortunately, we are not doing spectaculars tomorrow. There was an issue with travel and stuff like that, so unfortunately Rodney wasn't able to come down. But we're hoping to reschedule and hopefully have him back and show off his system. If you like Dusk City Outlaws, Spectaculars is the new game. So anyway, we'll talk about it later.
A little bit of a slower start tonight, but it's setting the stage. It's an investigation, and investigations always tend to pick up steam as they go, and more strange details come to light. So we hope you will join us next week for that. And also on Friday at 8 p.m. when we continue to play Wild Cards, which is our Deadlands Reloaded, for the time being, Savage Worlds Deluxe game that hopefully we'll be updating soon. Thank you very much to Pinnacle for helping us put this on.
Yes,
They are amazing, and I will work with them anytime. Thank you to Rick Bear for running everything behind the scenes. Go, Rick, keeping things going. And thank you to you guys. I have 1 or 2 bennies to award for things that happened right at the end there, but I'm going to save it for next week so that you get to use them.
Okay.
And I guess we'll see you next week at 8 p.m.
Should we leave them with some
on
ravens?
Monday.
Yeah.
We'll leave them with
Come.
our ETU Raven Caw. Go Ravens!
Go Ravens!